Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 143. And we have a large panel today because we got a lot to talk about. And oh my God, we not only have two guests, which I'm going to get to in a second, but first off, we have to acknowledge something here. If you look at the screen before your eyes, we see a man here in the top right corner. And you know who that is, everybody? That's the one and only Fuzzy Belvedere. For the first time here on camera, out of all the million podcasts he does, he makes his camera debut here on Xbox Ultimate. Fuzzy, dude, I'm so glad to see you actually with my own two eyes here while we're having a talk. So I got to say what's up to you first, man. How's it going, Fuzz?
Oh, it's going great. After some computer desk surgery and getting everything to work and fit where I originally took two measurements, but it all worked out.
Yeah,
glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, you've been planning on trying to make this happen for a while, and like I know you got the setup and stuff. You sent me some DMs. You're like, "Oops." Send me some pictures. Like, hey, it's like, how am I gonna fit this here? Somehow you performed a miracle. And we missed you during some of the co-streams and stuff. So I'm actually interested to get your thoughts tonight on some of this stuff as well, man. But hey, we also got two guests here, guys. Two awesome community members. One is a writer for Iron Lords podcast. So let's get to him first as well. LordsGaming.net writer Chris Jones here hanging out with us, repping Iron Lords there as well. How you doing, Chris? This is not your first time here. I think this is maybe like third or fourth time. I don't know how many times you've been with us, but appreciate you joining us tonight, bro.
Well, thanks for having me. I was supposed to be on a couple weeks ago, but schedules couldn't align with the prediction show. And it's the second show. The first time was with Asa.
Oh, that's right.
You randomly were able to get Asa, and then you put me on the spot with the Uden Chronicles stuff to try to promote that to bring people to my world. But glad to be here, and thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, and I know you're probably excited to talk about metaphors, so I'll give you a couple minutes later to talk about that. Then we have a very special guest here. You've seen him in the community. You've seen him in the chat lots of times. He also started making content on YouTube as well for gaming, and excited to have you on the show. Calorie, what's up, man? How you doing?
Calorie, let's go.
There's Spawn with the Calorie call. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. Stoked. Thanks for the invite. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Excited to get y'all's takes on the show. We've been doing a lot of co-streams and stuff, and we've been talking a lot. Pong and I talked for over 2 hours about Starfield last night with Skullsy, and then we stayed for another hour and a half talking about the rest of the show and stuff. But we had a blast, and let's get to the rest of the panel here. Psycho. What's up, man? The only man not with the camera tonight. It is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I don't have my setup, so plus I don't have a background I can use, so I'm just gonna roll with camera off. Take
fine.
place of Fuzzy's position.
Nobody cares if you show off your sex dungeon. It's fine. Psycho, it's fine.
His sex swing is behind him, but the problem is it's actually being used probably behind him.
He's swinging on it while he's doing the podcast right now. This is what he's doing.
No, it's just my neighbor. She's no. I've been busy. I've been playing between Diablo 4 and actually started playing Halo. Trying to get finish of that season 3, because season 4 is about to drop or did drop. I don't know. So that's about it.
Yeah, right on, man. How are you doing, Jasper?
Doing all right, I guess. It's Blackcarde Day, so I got to finally see that Star Trek game they showed off today. So
there's a day called Blackcarde Day.
Yes, Blackcarde Day, June 16th.
Yes, June 16th. I have not had a chance to watch it. Was it good, Jasper?
This is a world I know obviously nothing about.
Yes, I mean it looks like a Paradox game. So
okay, like grand strategy.
Yeah. You get you can play 4 classes, and like they each have their own like abilities, whatever. You can play Klingons, Romulans, Cardassians, or Federation.
All righty.
You can play a Kardashian.
All right. Yeah, a Kardashian. Yeah,
Kim. That doesn't fit.
Just her by herself.
Well, she's an alien race, so
we're all made of plastic. we're impervious to your damage. Right,
I wonder what they're known for. Anyways, yeah.
So if a Kardashian phases, does the like plastics go with them, or do they get left behind?
phases.
Or what is it called when you like teleport or whatever?
Transport.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jasper, you're amongst children. Okay, so just go ahead and
Like, beam me up.
Talk to 'em like they're
beam,
5.
Beam me up. When Scotty beams a Kardashian up, what happens? Like,
it's embarrassing.
Well, technically, when you transport,
love it. Right on. Hey, Pong Soul. Had a blast
Yes, sir.
talking a lot of Starfield
my
with you
God.
last night, bro. But hey, we got more to talk about today.
Yeah, can we keep talking Starfield? Because
For a little
that
while.
was amazing last night, especially with Skullsy on. Absolutely awesome show. If you guys didn't watch it, go check it out after this. Really having Skullsy there and just all three of us, it was incredible. But that's what a game like Starfield does. And if you've been listening to us, we tried to warn y'all. This is what Starfield was going to do to the community, which is a fantastic thing. So yeah, it's been fun week. I did not get the podcast with you guys as much as I wanted to. Obviously, I had to work. But listening to you guys, listening to all the reaction shows, listening to all the shows this week, talking about Gamers Christmas, it's special, man. It really is. The attitude, the energy levels have all turned yet again. And we're going to finally get an answer to ABK coming up here very shortly, hopefully. So a lot of things happening, but we got a lot to talk about. It's been a great week. Just been playing Diablo and otherwise watching the Starfield Direct over and over and over and over again. That's what I've been doing this week, but it's that time of year. And we got a great panel here. Great to have Calorie on here. Great to have Chris Jones on here. So let's get down to business, man.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, first we got to get to this $2 super chat from Ass Eating CLiCK. It's a shout out to Ass Eating
Speaking of
CLiCK
Kardashians.
with $2. Appreciate you. Says, what's up? What's up? Let's go. Yeah, that's a nice name. I like it. Ass Eating CLiCK. All right. Is that Vik The CLiCK?
It is.
In disguise?
Probably.
It
Yes.
has to be.
It's got to be because I just saw him actually make a post about eating ass on Twitter.
On Twitter. Yeah.
There you go.
I saw that. So I just put 2 and 2 together, bro. What's up, Vic? Wow, what a chat. Our chat's amazing. This is great. All right, so hey, I'm gonna start off this by putting somebody on the hot seat here because this is your first time on our podcast. I don't know how many podcasts you've been on, Calorie, at all, but I want to get your thoughts first. Just overall, taking it in from afterwards, this whole Xbox showcase. How did it sit with you? Did it like elevate your excitement at all for the brand, or is it like kind of this stuff is coming? Is it the same as before? And what is like the number one thing that stood out to you?
Yeah, no, this is definitely my first podcast, so thanks again. But for me, it definitely got us out of the mire and the rut that we've been in with ABK for like 18 months. We've just been like, timid Xbox. They don't want to show anything. They didn't show up to the Game Awards. They don't really show up to most stuff. Last E3 was 12 months, and we all know that wasn't the best. So this E3 was like, finally they're back in form. We heard that from all the people in LA saying that the executives are glad that we're excited that they're showing up and they're confident Xbox, right? That's what everyone's saying. So I'm excited, and yeah, just at the moment it's just Starfield first, right? So there might be a few things before that, but like smaller things coming to Game Pass. Sea of Stars definitely is a couple days before Starfield. But yeah, I'm excited for the future of Xbox, man, and it's time. As everyone was saying, ABK will know in a couple of weeks, hopefully, and good or bad, let's just get that over with so Xbox can start kicking down doors again.
Right on, man. I love it, dude. It was spectacular, really. Like I put a poll out on Twitter just a little while ago, asking if people's excitement's elevated at all. The thing is, like, we've been talking about this kind of stuff for a while here. We knew all this stuff existed. I didn't expect Fable to blow us away like it did, even though some people have some weird thoughts about the main character and sad that the character is not a sex toy or something like that. I don't really know. If you have seen everything going on social media and stuff, it's crazy. But let's get to Chris here, man. Chris, overall thoughts on the showcase and the number one thing that stood out to you.
Well, before we even get to the showcase, since I'm part of the Iron Lords, being associated with King Dave, and I've been holding the line. I got the T-shirt in the back somewhere, but been holding the line. And talking to Cog while he was there, he said that the executives were like super confident, that they were confident. Like Aaron Greenberg said, hopefully you have an extra pair of underwear. He posted that on Twitter. It just established my confidence that I never left. I've always been primarily Xbox, but I enjoy PlayStation, Nintendo, and all that. And they just restored any absence of confidence that the fans had. And Cog even said that he had to kind of get some of the executives to kind of tone down their confidence before the showcase. They were that confident that they were going to knock our socks off.
I was on with Boxenberger when he said that. And dude, I was getting hyped, man, because when I knew that we were gonna have a good show, when Cog comes out and says that he was trying to contain the executives' hype, right? Yeah. So when you hear and see that, in that level of confidence going into it, I knew that everything that we've been speculating about was probably gonna happen, right? And it did. But here's what I want to do on this show, guys. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I see Pong cracking up over there.
Yeah. Your wife.
Wow. Okay. And happy birthday again. It's the day after her birthday, but happy birthday again, babe. What I want to do on this show is spend time just talking about I'm going to say there was the big games, right, at the Xbox showcase, right? So we had Avowed. We had Fable, Starfield, Clockwork Revolution, South of Midnight, Hellblade 2, and Forza Motorsport, right? And we got more info on Forza, and I'm excited to get Fuzzy's take on the career mode. It happened on the 13th. And then Star Wars Outlaws, right? Those are kind of the big games for me that kind of, most of them from Xbox first party, all but Star Wars. And they kind of really hit hard with these big Xbox exclusives. And something else that's interesting here: Avowed, Fable, Starfield, Clockwork Revolution, South of Midnight, Hellblade 2 are all single player games. That's very interesting. When you talk about what PlayStation showed, where they had 3 out of the 4 big first party games that they showed were all multiplayer live service stuff, and everybody's like, Xbox got no single player stuff. They're all live service and all this stuff. But we got 5 big first party single player exclusive games from first party studios. So we'll start with some of those. Just quick thoughts. Fuzzy, is there one of those games that stood out to you the most?
For the art style and finally getting to see a highly anticipated game for me was South of Midnight. That I really like that, almost like a wood carving that they did for the skin tone and things along those lines. Even though we didn't really get to see as much gameplay, but at least seeing some of the stuff we saw as far as concept art on Windows Central and seeing that in action was pretty cool. And then probably one of the big ones outside of Forza for me was Clockwork Revolution. That one, just the steampunk aesthetic, the calls to wow, I'm having a brain fart here. To previous games and things like that. BioShock, yes.
Okay, yeah.
As far as the overall look and everything, just seeing some of the weapons, some of the zany things like the red carpet that the guy, too good to walk on the streets, but had his own mobile red carpet type of deal. And then I guess the brute steampunk robot that was, facing off with you type of deal. But there were so many amazing things that they showed, but those 2 probably stand out the most. But Starfield showed up big time. Forza Motorsport showed up big time. Hellblade, I know a lot of people are calling for seeing combat and things like that. I'm confident that they'll do that closer to release. So seeing Hellblade in general, just knowing that it was running on a Series X and it looked that awesome, I'm really looking forward to that one as well. So they had a lot of games that they showed this time and gave us updates on some, and I couldn't be happier. I scored that showcase a 10 out of 10, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for you too. Like I was like unison. I think. Well, Jasper was probably. Did you give it a 10, Jasper?
Yeah.
Even if Jasper gives it a fucking 10, you know what I mean? It's like a good show, right? Psycho, what did you gave it a 10 too, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
It was a good show. No, it was great. They really showed a lot of things that we've been asking for, with In Exile, Compulsion, seeing Fable, Avowed. So they showed us what they've been working on, and everything was pretty much either breathtaking or looks really good. And the only thing that I do see is that people wanted combat from Hellblade 2.
Mhm.
And I think it was on Xbox 2 when they were mentioning that possibly we were expecting combat, maybe what we got shown last year with that cutscene. Was it last year? No, it was the year before. That fire when she was fighting the troll, that was the combat scene. So it's like what we thought we wanted a combat scene. Xbox is like, no, we already showed it to you, and it's like, oh, that was combat. Okay, like, cool. Like I know Hellblade is not a action / type game, but I kind of wish it kind of went more in depth with that. So, but outside of that, like the showcase was pretty spot on. It had everything, a lot of things that people were asking for, and then some. No one was expecting, except for 3-bit, seeing Fable the way it looks. That game, people are still non-believers out there. They think it's all CGI, and it's like, well, no, that's captured on the Series X game, and it did not have a UI, but that was pretty much gameplay. So you can chalk it up to whatever it was, but yeah, we had a great showing for Fable. So,
What did you think about Avowed?
Avowed, it looks. I liked it. I know people are like, it's too colorful, but I mean, we only had a CGI trailer to go off of, so going from that dark, gritty trailer to this very colorful. But to me, it's like I think Morrowind was very colorful as well. So like there was a lot of instances in that game that were like bright and really great, but they didn't show every freaking instance of that game. They showed us a little bit. The game is still being developed, so by this time next year, it could be shown off a little bit different. They could have toned down the colors a little bit. They could have emphasized on the fidelity. It's not a big game. They wanted a smaller, not casual, but something. God damn it! More.
Everybody's
focused.
like having brain fucks tonight.
Yes, exactly. More
Is that what you're
focus.
looking
Yeah, focus
They want-
experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
The
small.
focus experience. So I mean, to me, that's great. Because as like Pong, how we play with RPGs and whatnot, we scour every little corners and go under every rock. I mean, so you can. If they have an experience of, let's say it's only about 20-30 hours, but if you really want to get involved and really, you can definitely get this game probably over 50-60 hours depending on with the crafting.
Like
Outer
everything.
Worlds.
So-
Outer Worlds was big. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to spend time in Outer Worlds, you can
people
get plenty
say
of
a small game like Outer Worlds. Like you play Outer
Yeah.
Worlds, it's like it's not really a small game. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like not a Starfield. You know, like there's
Exactly.
It's not a Skyrim. You can't
Yeah,
go just
like-
anywhere, but yeah, it's
people.
still big.
What's interesting, like about Avowed, and I've seen and heard several people say that, and like I think here's the thing: not every game has to be this mind blowing, like, oh my god, I've never seen this happen before in gaming ever experience, right? Like
Exactly.
sometimes it can have original idea, like really nail down concepts and just be fun as hell as well. Like,
Yeah.
and not every game has to look like. See people like post pictures of the Order 1866 or 1886, whatever that game was, in comparisons
movie
to
game.
other
Yeah.
games, right? And it's like that game was 5 hours, right? It was
And
like
it was shit.
all just about the graphics, and nobody really
Yeah,
liked
that's
the
all it
game
was.
too much. Like, so
No.
you can say, hey, graphics are everything, but they're really not, man. Like, I'm sick of the whole everything has to be the end, like the most amazing next gen graphical showpiece ever, or otherwise it's like discounted, you know. It's just old. Like, games are games, and sometimes they look different, and sometimes they are going to be more colorful or artistic and stuff.
People said this about the Outer Worlds too. When the Outer
Yeah.
Worlds were first showing, people were like, "Oh, what is all this color? Like, wait, this is like,
Yeah.
I want a serious. I want Fallout again. I don't want Outer Worlds." And then they got it in their hands, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, now I get it. Right? This is Obsidian." There's nothing wrong with Obsidian doing what they're masters at, and you know we've heard that they started out with the Avowed being in a big giant open world game, but as they got into development they realized, hey, maybe we should tone this back and do what we do best, and that's make a focused, you know, game where we still give people tons of choices, tons of narrative. You know, you get your companions, you have all the relationship stuff, the decision making. Let's just focus on what we do best and get down to business, and that's what they've done. And again, this game isn't coming out this year, folks. This game is still probably about a year, maybe a year and a half away, depending on where they slot it. We've seen the changes that happened to Starfield over the past year already. We're going to see Obsidian do work on this game. I already think it looks great. If you're not into the style, that's fine. I get it. You don't have to be into the style, but this game is still going to be Obsidian through and through, and they're one of the best world-building teams around, especially when it comes to this type of game. I can't wait to play this game. Absolutely.
No, yeah, and nothing, and they want to be themselves. They want to make a game that is a game. They don't want to make, oh, it looks like Skyrim. Oh, it looks like Oblivion. That's not who Obsidian is. They make what they want to make and put their touches on it. You know, just like as you said, like Outer Worlds was amazing, and people loved it. But you know. Yeah, it's too colorful, but guess what? Fucking who gives a shit? Oh no, color. Oh no, there's color. Like, they're nitpicking just the minute detail of a lot of these games that were shown.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could see it, and you can tell that they haven't either played an Obsidian or Outer World or an Obsidian game. You can tell that they haven't played a lot of these games with the nitpicking, and it just shows to you that it's like, okay, what is your real gripe? Like, seriously.
Well, and then the game that does wow everybody, like you have people not believing it either. You know what I mean? With
And
Fable,
that's-
you know.
And
You
the
can't
developer
win.
came out and said that's, hey, guess what? Thank you. That's a oh my god, I can't fucking think
Compliment.
tonight. A compliment. Jesus. Wow. All right, I'm done talking. My brain is
Your
Well,
switching.
you know
neighbor's
what's-
gonna have to give you 10 lashes tonight.
You know what's happened is we're all still on a high from the
Yeah,
Xbox
got a lot of
showcase,
fucking-
right? Our brains are just
Oh,
fried.
dude.
And
like,
and Psycho's brain's fried before the Xbox showcase anyway.
Jesus
You
Christ,
know what I
bro.
mean? Like, plus he's also high on something else as we're speaking, probably as well, not just the
What the
showcase.
fuck?
No, I'm just-
I'm not
I-
even.
No, like-
not yet.
What's
All right,
weird is
like,
when you
let's-
talk, Psycho, I can hear faintly in the background, like there's like circus music or something like that.
Yes.
Are you-
Oh, is that? That's just something playing in the background. Let me turn
Something. Something. Just something.
What is it?
Again, there's a reason why he's not on camera, folks.
All right. I wanted to say, like last night, I wanted to jump on to freaking PM and PM because you guys were making a lot of great points, and I wanted to freaking like, oh my god, yeah. And now, like, trying to think of what the fuck you guys were saying.
You got to get a journal. You got to get a journal, Psycho, and write them down.
I was driving, so I can't write and drive.
Okay. Well, sure you can. Just takes practice. Get good.
Yeah. Yeah. If my fifth appendage was able to write, I would.
Whoa.
What?
Oh.
Are you just say you had a pencil dick? Is that
Yeah.
sorry. Alvin with the $5 super chat says, my life is depressing already. Enough The Last of Us and Gears environments. Give me more vibrant colored games, more Borderlands and Avowed palettes, please. Yeah, sometimes there's just different takes on the artistic direction. And
I think just people latched on to the initial description of Avowed that this was going to be Obsidian Skyrim. And so everybody just latched onto that and said, oh, they're just going to do that. And it's going to look like that. And obviously the trailer impressions gave people that idea as well, because that initial trailer, it did seem like it was going to be a little darker, a little bit more mature than, well, I mean, Obsidian games are mature, don't get me wrong.
That
what I'm saying
is like
more
crazy dark. And like
crazy dark.
And,
right, exactly. And so I think people just got that idea wrapped up in their head and they weren't open to what Obsidian was going to show. And when Obsidian showed it, they're like, oh, this isn't what I had pictured in my head this whole damn time. And me, I'm like, nah, this is an Obsidian game.
Yeah.
That's Obsidian right there, folks. That's what I love about them. And I do think that we need, variety, especially with how many RPGs we're going to have from Xbox. It's good to have different styles mixed in there. Yeah. Something like Obsidian is going to be refreshing when this hits.
And a completely different vibe than Starfield, which is that more serious tone until like the adoring fan shows up and it becomes silly, right? You know what I mean? But but palette wise, like I really, my favorite Bethesda game was actually Oblivion, right? Which had this kind of more of a glowing aspect to it. Like there was a lot of gold and shiny tones throughout the game, and it wasn't necessarily like over the top colorful, but it was more high fantasy, like with the art style direction.
Yep.
And Avowed kind of seemed like a turned up version of that to me in a way. I don't expect it to be well, I mean, Oblivion may be for me a good comparison to maybe have some kind of expectations on this, maybe even the scope. I don't know. This Oblivion may be bigger than this, or maybe around the same size. I don't know. Skyrim was way bigger than Oblivion was, right? So I don't really know scope wise where to put it. They did say it's like divide, like there's hub zones basically. It's like zone type open areas and stuff like that as well. So I'm excited for it because there's already so many big, huge fucking games out there, man. Like I want to be able to beat some of them. And
you could expect Obsidian, because if, like you said before, Mav 2, Pillars of Eternity is. The lore is heavy. The lore is deep. So just because the art style goes that way, it's going to be a more serious game. I didn't see any Fable jokes in there. I didn't see anything like that during that show. The little bit that we got, the brief part of it. I think that people are going to be surprised by how serious and how real, like the combat and the killing and the decision making and that kind of stuff is going to be in that game, because that's what Pillars of Eternity is. It's going to have some dark humor in there, but it's definitely going to be different.
I think the fish guy, he made like a quick quip or something there. But like,
correct. Yes. That's, you're still going to get that, but I think darker.
You're going to have your darker areas and tones probably throughout the story as well, right?
For sure.
Calorie, like, what was your takeaway from Avowed? Like, is that one that you're sitting on like, it is what it is, or like it did it actually excite you?
Yeah, it's the trailer that they showed whenever they showed it 2 years ago or whatever. It gave me like a Helm's Deep vibe. That's kind of how I felt of it, and that's what I've had in my head. But then obviously we've had Jez saying like it's going to be more Outer Worlds. So the take that I had on it was that I expect it to meet Outer Worlds quality, and if it does, that's great. That's like an 8.5. We'll be excited. But they said this is the reason we bought the studio. This is the game they've been wanting to make. They got a bigger budget. They got a bigger team. So I was expecting it to be 2 or 3 times greater than Outer Worlds. It's yet to be seen. They've got a year plus to work on it. Maybe it shows up and it does have this bigger grand scope. But worst case, in my opinion, we get Elder Scrolls version of Outer World, and that's a win to me. But I would have liked it to be a bit more Helm's Deep and like battling the demon. I can't remember its name from Lord of the Rings. Underground and all that cool stuff that it kind of showed off in the trailer. But if we don't get that, we get Outer Worlds with magic and swords and Spartaning the guy off the ledge, then cool with that too.
Yeah.
Did you ever play any Pillars of Eternity, Calorie, at all?
I've loaded it up
Okay.
a few times, and it's like so much text that I didn't get very far.
It's a classic style. It's
Yeah,
more in line with
it's
the
a
CRPGs.
CRPG
It's
all the way.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
CRPG all day. But what I was gonna say is like the magic in that game is complex. There is a lot of complexity to the battling systems, and I believe they're gonna bring that over. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same as a top-down, action-based RPG in a lot of ways, but I think that they're going to incorporate a lot of that, and that's why you're seeing all the hand gestures and all that kind of stuff. So I think that, like Mav said, there's going to be different areas where you're going to come across some of those big enemies, those big monsters. I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people once it hits. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good thing. Yeah.
I think people
Yep.
sometimes too quick, like to reach like extreme judgments based on
Yes.
like short trailers.
Right.
And that's the problem with showing games. You know what I mean? But overall, I think more people are excited for it than not. And that's just
Yeah.
one of many games here. Chris, did it disappoint you, or you looking forward to it?
One of the big things when I start to write a review, and it's usually the same way for every review I write, one of my favorite things, if it's not music, is how the game looks or the setting of the game. And one of the best things about the Outer Worlds was the vibrant color. You look at games like Chained Echoes. One of my favorite things about Chained Echoes when I was playing that is the vibrant color. It gives you a different feel, and it really helps the game pop out. And I'm super excited for it. I love the way the color looks. Doesn't always have to be, that super realistic Skyrim. Doesn't have to look as good as Starfield, but it's one of the things that Obsidian excels at. It's making those styles of games. And it's a kind of a get in where you fit in situation, and that's where Obsidian excels, making those vibrant colored games. And I loved Outer Worlds. It was one of my favorite games of the year that I played it. So
Yeah. Another one that nobody's talking about except Fuzzy made a mention of this earlier, which was awesome because I want to get more of your take on this game, Fuzz, is South of Midnight, right? Now we've known Project Midnight existed for a long time. Compulsion was making something that a lot of the execs are excited about. Phil's talked about it numerous times, how he really loves what Compulsion's doing. We saw this like almost like Spider-Verse stop animation style like theme going throughout the trailer, and you had the wood carving look and stuff. You had this southern like Louisiana bayou style like a world that they're kind of living in, which is very different. Not many games do this, right? And kind of settle in that area, which is not far from here. So I kind of looking forward to that, right? And then also you have inspiration taken from like folklore from the area, from the southern areas as well. And I don't know if you know this, Fuzz, but there's like a old guitarist named Robert Johnson, right? And the story of him and like how he sold his soul to the devil to like became amazingly good at guitar, and like the character they had, Shaky Bones, I think is what they called him, was inspired, the developer said, by Robert Johnson. So like the more I hear about this game from like the developers, the way they talk about it, dude, I'm getting pretty excited. They also said that it's like it's kind of like a open linear based game, right? So is there any takeaways besides like that, like that specifically a reason why you pinpointed that one that you're excited for?
I think there's a couple of key things. Like I don't know if anybody's played Hunt Showdown. My
Yes.
sons love that game, and it has like not necessarily the same time period, but it has almost like this investigation, hunt down, a particular target, and you only get like certain amount of clues. And now in that game, it's more of a multiplayer, so you have to beat other teams to the target. But it looks like you're going to have a similar like scope as far as trying to find or locate these particular monsters in an area and stuff. And I like that, even though it's probably just more so for the cutscene, but if you're going around and asking like people in the area or even the animals, for example, and you have to worry about the actual target sneaking up on you, that looks like it's going to have a pretty cool mechanic as far as possible different approaches on finding them and things along those lines. But the music mix, the environment, the art style, all of those things are unique in the sense that I haven't seen any games like that. Now we've seen movies like that. It's almost like was it Tim Burton's kind of like
Coraline?
Yeah, like more of like that style animation and everything. And I would like to see how that plays out on console or even on PC kind of thing. But just unique characters, unique environment, maybe some blues music to go along with it, possibly voodoo or other forms of magic. It's something that I don't think a lot of dev teams have even touched as far as those types of things. Like the last game I can remember in that region would be Mafia 3, and I liked a lot of the things of Mafia 3 as far as the music. Now the tone being that it was during, probably the hardest time for a person of color type of deal, but they portrayed it in a way where yes, it was somewhat frustrating, but it encouraged you to continue through the story. And I don't think that will be as much of the tone in this game, but I think having that music tie-in, the environment, the cool things that are from that region, whether it be food, music, or just the scenery, I think all of those things are going to make an appearance. And I just want to see this, come to fruition here with hopefully 2025, if not sooner. But
yeah,
I don't think they gave an actual date. Did they say 2024?
I don't think they gave a date on that one at all. So which makes me think 2025 probably. And they just didn't want to put it on there probably because they don't want to, just in case, you know what I mean? But I think they're pretty confident in the 2024 slate. And I think the other games they showed are probably targeting 2025 for the most part.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right, man. Completely original, right? Have we seen a game like South of Midnight, like at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Like, and that's awesome to me.
Yeah, when they played "Death Don't Have No Mercy," that's the song he was picking. Man, I was just like, oh shit, this is what is this? Because I love old school like blues, like Muddy Waters, and so to see this, I was like, really an original idea, an original IP that is not saturated in the gaming market really excites me. And to me it also has that same because people are like how it looks. The first thing that popped to my was like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, how it was like that motion stop stuff, like how everything was like
the new
played
Ninja
out.
Turtles movies doing that too.
Yeah, so so to me that was like, oh shit, this really is something different. And it has intrigued me that, so anytime if I hear anything about South of Midnight, I'm going to keep an eye out for it because they really have something here. It's really, really a great, could be a very great game.
Yeah. And completely different from every other game on this list. And every game on this list is actually completely different from one another. Right? So like it's all extremely original, even though you got multiple RPGs and stuff. Like Starfield is nothing like Avowed, which is nothing like Fable. You have a game like South of Midnight, which is nothing like any of those. And then we got the next game I want to talk about, Clockwork Revolution. In Exile. Came out to play in a big way.
This should have been the one last thing before Starfield.
You think so?
Yeah, that would have made it perfect if they had
what
shown.
was the last thing before Starfield?
Xbox, the new
Series.
Xbox.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was before that? Was Clockwork Revolution?
Clockwork.
Yeah, it was Clockwork. It was
Yeah.
technically out of the games.
Yeah.
It was the last game before
Right.
Starfield.
Yeah, he should have just come out, done that thing, and then said, "All right, before Starfield, we have one last thing." I think it would have just been made it way better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I think people would have been like, "Oh shit!" In
They already
Exile.
were. They already were.
yeah, I know.
They already were. Everybody was waiting on Starfield. And that's why I said Starfield was the one last thing, because everybody was just in anticipation for that. So, I understand why people wanted that Phil moment where he says, "And before we go, just one last thing."
see like Harrison Ford show up. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
Indiana
right,
fucking
that's right.
You also
Jones.
had like a 10-second intermission, so like the one more thing really wouldn't have worked like too well.
Yeah,
anyway.
because it was right into Starfield. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. In Exile still blew everybody's brains out with this right here. Okay. We again, it's funny. It's really great to see when your read on a studio turns out to be so true and so correct. And obviously Brian Fargo, I've been talking about NXL forever. Jez has been talking about NXL forever over on Xbox 2. If you played the Wasteland games, if you understand the history with Brian Fargo and that team, you knew they had all the pieces in place to do something like this. All they needed was the resources and the time behind them to give them the opportunity to go ahead and make a game like this, right? Instead of just the top-down, strategy, CRPG style Wastelands, right? All the writing, all the character development, all the world building, all of that team are masters. And I said all along, when they finally get to show what they can do with a AAA budget and are allowed to grow and expand, that people are going to go look back and be like, dang, never knew NXL had this. This is one of the greatest acquisitions Xbox made. And I truly believe that. And after seeing what we saw from Clockwork Revolution, I think they're going to nail this. The fact that they came out right afterwards and said, full-blown RPG, character creation, all the choices that you've come to love and know about us, all of that is in this game. So you're telling me that you're giving me BioShock Infinite with time travel stuff, and you're going to give me full-blown RPG mechanics? Oh, this is it. Like, this is going to be a fantastic game, and I have the utmost faith that they're going to pull it off. I have no worries like, oh, well, they've never done anything like this. It might come out. It's not going to be polished. No. As we've seen now time and time again, outside of Redfall, which is a different story, Microsoft is giving everybody underneath their umbrella the time to finish the games and make them right. And this one especially, coming from this team in Exile, Phil knows how important this game is, because if Exile nails it, again, Mav, if we talked about last night, RPG Central is Xbox. They have the most talent. They have acquired the most talent worldwide in the RPG category. And In Exile now shows off that they can make a AAA game, full-blooded, all the bells and whistles. That's it, man. You've got the lineup for years and years to come. So Clockwork Revolution absolutely knocked it out of the park. This was the perfect showing. We knew they were confident. Their social media team has been out here for like almost 2 years now, just dominating the gaming social market scene or social scene, because their team is so good, and they were just happy to be around, supporting all the other teams. You knew something good was cooking on the inside. Here it is. Have y'all
been following their Twitter account for the game?
Yeah.
They're making post after post after post, like telling more deep dives and stuff on kind of like the mechanics of it. And they know they got something with this game. They've been talking about it like without being able to talk about it for a while, saying, damn it, I want to be able to talk about this game, and again, another original idea, like Steampunk has been done before, but not like this. you know, and not in this grand a scale. I would say like
that's what I'm wondering most about the game is like how like your decisions you make, how important are they and how much they actually change? Like, is it just like is every decision will like change the, or is it just like can you do like a path where it won't change anything?
Massive changes to the game.
Yeah, here's
like,
what
they're
they
saying
say.
Unexpected.
Yeah,
consequences.
Here's what he says. It says the Clockwork Revolution pushes role-playing reactivity to new heights. The choices you make on your trips into the past will change the people, the stories, and the city of Avalon itself in extraordinary and very often unexpected ways.
Yeah, but like I'm wondering, is there like a right path? Like, is there a path where you can like make the right decision and it won't change anything, or like can you like pick a decision that will completely fuck up the entire world?
If you look at the Wasteland games, Jasper, you can make decisions that fuck up everything. Right? You can make those decisions that absolutely change everything. So I believe they're going to carry that over into this, and we could have one of those games where every decision is very consequential and you feel it throughout the game if you make one. Like I think that they are going to try to bring that across in this game. I really do.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people are comparing it to BioShock Infinite, but I wonder if for a lot of people it will scratch that Dishonored itch.
I saw that too, Calorie. That's a great point. When I was watching the trailer, I also was thinking to myself Dishonored in a lot of places. Absolutely.
Yeah, if they have the stealth mechanics in there, it could be an awesome stealth game.
Yes.
Well, it could be. In Exile, they're probably going to let you play how you want to play, right? I mean, that's kind of their style, even on their tactics style CRPGs and stuff like Wasteland. You know, you can play how you want on that game. They're famous for a Bard's Tale as well, which is like very story focused games. So they're in their bag with this. They never had a budget like this before, and like they've grown in size as well for this game. This isn't the only game that they're making though, as well, right? They're a multi-team studio making multiple projects, and they come out. Not only have they been supporting Wasteland 3 extremely well, they had that huge expansion, but they have this game now that looks like, oh shit, In Exile's capable of that? You know what I mean? I just
thought of something like mind blowing with that is like, I don't know how like in depth it's gonna be, but like if you kill a shopkeeper back in time and you go to the future, is that shop just like closed down?
Closed down.
Well, it'll be a different shop. Somebody else will
or a different shop,
space.
or or there's a kid
dead.
Yeah, or there's a kid, or you get them and they're like they had like a little kid. Now the little kid is running their shop and he's talking about how somebody killed his parents. Like
this asshole time traveler killed my parents. You know, and I had to open up the shop myself.
I was orphaned.
Yeah. It could be a fun mechanic to play with, though.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder if you can like jump. Okay, let's say you fuck something up, right? Oh man, I don't like the results. I wonder if you can go like further back in time to then like try and like fix that. You know what I mean? And kill yourself about to try and kill the person you accidentally killed.
That'd be funny.
There's crazy thoughts about what this game could be, man. Like, again, it looks great. I don't hear many people complaining about the aesthetics of this game at all. I think it's because it gives those BioShock Infinite vibes and stuff. People are like, ooh, this looks like a fully realized, fleshed out world that I haven't seen much done this way before.
Every game we've talked about, Mav, looks different. Every single game looks different. Original, this is why Phil loves it, right? That's why he gets excited for Compulsion, because they do it differently. That's why he got excited about In Exile, because they do it differently. Every single one. It's not cookie cutter over here at all.
To that point too, they made a point when they're talking about this stuff and on their interviews they've been doing, is about they want to make the games the creators want to make. So we don't see these pigeonholed projects, you know, like this has to be this because that's what seems like it's popular right now. So we got to chase that trend. And that's why we've seen games like Pentiment come out, you know, that's why we've seen those kind of things. And yeah, you get the smaller experiences within that. It's not going to blow everybody away, but it's going to really make some people love it. Right. But then you get these big worlds and these big original ideas and stuff, because guess what? These are creative led studios where the creative minds are
Weird.
like, you mean I can make whatever I want and I have all this money to do it with and I get to hire all these people to help me do it? And I just get to say, okay, it's like, it is what it is. Like, I don't have to worry about money and all these other things. Like,
I can tell Booty fuck off. We're not showing our game yet. And Booty just goes away.
Right. I mean, it seems pretty crazy, right? It, like, for me, like, this was the biggest like surprise of the show, of a new game that I'm like super hyped about, because I can't wait to play this thing. Don't know when we'll get to play it, but again, I think we could probably hope for 2025 on this one. But we'll see. You know, they got other games that could be fitting that year as well.
It's going to be 2025 is stacked if you just take the ones that didn't have a date on them. I mean, you've already got South of Midnight, Fable, and then Clockwork Revolution, right? You've got those all lined up already for that year. Right?
What I don't want to see is 3 years without an update on those games.
It's not going to be 3 years.
Yeah, because that's what they did with Fable and, you know, some of these other games. And it will be maybe 4 with Perfect Dark. But
you get Perfect Dark next year, so.
Yeah, and don't forget all that.
And State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
Don't forget all that. That 2020 was a sell you on what the future of Xbox is, and that's because they kind of had to do that because of what happened in the last generation. So they had to tell you, like, Fable's coming, Perfect Dark, we got all these games, just wait. And then, you know, unfortunately with the pandemic, set a lot of things back, but now it looks like they're on track to start releasing these games, hopefully one a quarter, big AAA games, one a quarter. That's what Matt Booty has said that they're going to try to do that, and that'd be a really good thing. They're going to get to a point where maybe they can't. They have to do 2 games a quarter because there's so much coming out, and they can't. You can't postpone a game because it's ready. If 2 games are ready, and it's just like, and you got so many in the pipeline, they're going to be ready. It's like, well, fuck, I guess we're going to have 2 games. It would be one at the beginning of the quarter, one towards the end of the quarter, and, you know, something like that. But fuck, it's great to be a gamer right now for Xbox.
Yeah, for sure. And then a game that surprised everybody with what it looked like, except for 3-bit. 3-bit knew what it looked like. Fable. People couldn't believe it. People still aren't believing it.
Just like Forza Horizon 5. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, you know, that game showed like so well, you know. I mean, it's getting some weird flack for stupid reasons and stuff like that right now. Like, has anybody played Fable before? Like, that have ever played a Fable game that's complaining about the way the characters look right now? I mean, I don't remember playing Fable and like, man, I really want to fuck that character. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, people are like making weird comments about Fable. It's like, have you ever played Fable? Fable's not that kind of game. This is not Dead or Alive volleyball. You know what I mean?
A lot of this,
everyone in that town in Fable.
You can. Listen, a lot of this, Matt, though, is just makeup for Horizon.
Yeah.
A lot of this is makeup for that because everybody went after Horizon and how Aloy looked in the new one. And so now this is makeup. This is that back and forth, whatever else. Again,
also where society's went in the last 10 years.
There is, and there is a power fantasy when you play games, and you'll even have, there's plenty of female gamers out there who have come out in support of good looking characters, like, you know, so there's this whole undercurrent of that.
I'm not against that at all. No. But like what I'm saying is like,
it's just dumb thing to latch onto. But
it's Fable.
It's console.
They're 12.
Yeah, it's console war.
Well, you know,
like
Tomb Raider.
If you play Dead or Alive beach volleyball and they have a bunch of fucking ugly ass people in that, I'm like, what the hell? You ruined my beach volleyball game. You know what I mean?
No, because Fable. The volleyball would still be good no matter what. The volleyball game itself,
I get it,
because it has amazing physics.
It does.
You guys,
it does.
They're doing like children's fairy tale stories. It looks like James the Giant Peach and stuff. So I wonder if she's gonna be like the undercover princess that has a glow up halfway through.
Yeah,
like
or
Cinderella or whatever.
Like
Okay.
3-Bit brought up and we talked about was that Fable's always had an aesthetic that depending on your actions within the game, your character changes, right?
Oh yeah.
The looks change and everything else. So just because she's starting out this way or just because that's the way they showed her. And again, we could have character creation in this Fable. We don't know whether or not they're going to do that. And they just used her as a starting point for the trailer. Who knows? But she looked like an average girl. Like there was nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
It's just
She was natural.
She
wasn't
normal
wearing makeup.
person.
She wasn't
Fable.
Yeah.
There's not
And
makeup, a whole lot of makeup back then. Who cares?
Exactly.
She's out here killing people, casting
Yeah.
spells. She ain't worried about lipstick. All right.
Exactly.
I never
And,
said
like,
any. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because I like for me, like when I was hearing that freaking notion of she wasn't hot, like you guys are freaking just really out here grasping at straws. But to me, it's like this could be to show they're going to be gender neutral with you can have a gender neutral character, you can play as a man, you can play as a woman, you can play someone that's gender neutral, that you can they're not leaving out anybody. They're being inclusive with everybody that wants a game. And I think that's where what they were trying to go with a little bit, which is fine. That's what they wanted to do. It's because we don't know what's also involved. I think that's why I think if they had a little bit of said, oh yeah, you can create your own character, you can pick what this and that and the other, there wouldn't be this.
No. There wouldn't be
Generally
any
in
of this.
Fable, you have like a starting point, and then it changes as you play.
It changes as you
know?
play. Or like Talus
thing-
Ray. Talus Ray brought up a good point real quick, Jasper. I'll let you go. But Talus Ray brought a great point in the chat too. It had a Shrek feel to it, like the unexpected heroine, right? Like the one you wouldn't expect to be the one out here, battling people, casting spells like that. Just kind of that, hey, look at this ordinary person doing stuff, right? It kind of had that sense to it as well. Sorry, Jasper, go ahead.
I was going to say, the thing is, like, I don't know if there'll be a character creator. Like, it could be, but the thing is, they usually don't hire a model like that to, like, unless it's just for that trailer. So, like,
Right.
I would assume that you're going to be locked to, like, certain character models instead of, like, I
That's
want
what
to
they
move
did.
my eyebrow, like, 300 feet to the left and make, like, an alien creature, It's like...
That's what they did in the original Fable. You had your choice of
Yeah.
male and female, and you started, right? That's
Yeah.
that's what you did. So
Yeah.
And they, like I said, they could do that. It could be just like a little bit more like male, female, manlier, feminine, and whatever. And they have a couple choices because we're in this day and age for everything is inclusive.
okay, that's enough about this stupid conversation. Let's get down to the Fable.
Yeah.
Because Fable itself, again, Mav, as you were saying, people couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And people need to start believing in what Playground's doing. And if they put this all together, again, we got a long ways to go. But obviously, I think all of us here on the panel probably say we've got the utmost faith in Playground pulling this one together and pulling it off. If this is an example, and again, 3-Bit did confirm that this is what the game looks like, folks. This is it.
And
if
he
this is
told
the
us
entire
behind
game.
the scenes it
Yeah.
looks real. Like
Yes.
so, like
Right.
and we couldn't
Right.
say anything more than that. We were like, "What does it look like?" And he's like, "I can't answer." Like we're like, "Does it look like Fable?" And he's like, "It looks real." And we're like,
Yeah,
what do you
you-
mean? What
Well,
do
it's
you mean it
3-Bit.
looks
It's
real?
3-Bit. He's like, I just worked on the UI,
Yeah.
guys. I don't know. I couldn't remember what I saw. I can't remember
Right.
what I saw.
But
That's what 3-Bit does all
Well,
the time.
Cowboy 8-Ball was for fucking Clockwork, so, like, you got to take what he says
Yeah.
with, like,
True.
a huge grain
That
of
is
salt.
true. You never know what he's going with 3-Bit. But the fact is that they pulled off such an incredible trailer that nobody believes it. They also came out and confirmed that this was from the Series X version, which is also gigantic, right? Even if people don't want to believe it, I believe the devs. I believe Playground. Again, they publicly stated, and of course, all studios kind of say this stuff, but I believed it when Playground originally said it. They want to become the #1 studio in the world. They want to be considered one of the best in the entire world in development. If they go from a car RPG to a Western RPG, bringing back a beloved franchise and giving it this look and the gameplay as well, they will be considered one of the best in the world. So I'm excited. I think this is their first stepping stone, and I think we're in for something special when Fable shows up finally.
Yeah. And we got a $5 super chat from Acid and Click just in time.
Yep.
Remember, guys, the Giant was talking about that he hates good-looking heroes. It's their humor to make fun of that.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well,
yeah, for sure, man. And he's probably drunk as hell, making really good points as well right now. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate you. Chris, do you think this like cemented like confidence in Playground and making this kind of game, right?
Oh, definitely. Especially like we said, going from just making the Forza games to be able to revive an IP like Fable. And a lot of people don't remember. I'm sure a lot of people that are complaining about the way she looks probably didn't even play the original Fables, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's been how many years since we had one?
Correct.
And like that little dude on the old games, he was ugly too, like a bad character model and all that stuff.
Oh,
But,
did y'all see
Looked like a hobbit.
Did y'all see Josh Sawyer's like I fixed it
Yes.
post? Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
Because people were doing that with like the Fable character, the girl, and I was like, you guys are so stupid, right? And he replied to somebody and like I fixed it. He took the little old school Fable chicken kicker fucker we played as a kid, and he made him look like this chiseled like hulking hero guy, which is like just absolutely hilarious, man. It was like amazing. Anyway, continue, Chris. Sorry.
But if Playground can go from making the Forza how good it looked, and then go to make Fable how good that looks, what is the possibilities that Playground can do next? Like they don't have to stick to a Forza. They don't have to continue. Imagine what they could do next. Complete confidence in everything that Playground does.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is making another Forza Horizon game right now, so I mean, they could just let them make Forza Horizon games.
Didn't 3-Bit say it was gonna be game of the year?
Yeah, that looks better than Forza.
Crewfest? Oh my god,
Motorfest.
Motorfest. That game,
Motorfest.
so
Yes.
bad. I don't know. I was so worried about that game.
Oh, I've seen people on Twitter posting and going, "Oh yeah, this is already better than Forza Motorsport itself." I'm like,
What?
yes. There was a tweet today that somebody said Motorfest was going to end Forza's run.
Wow.
They
Says
must have some strong stuff out there.
Yeah.
yeah. The game that they're afraid to actually show on screen.
Mhm.
Like you notice the Ubisoft forward. Here's Motorfest. It's back there. So check it out, everybody. It's on the other screen. We're not going to put it for you. Anyway, a game could be fine or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you make a good point. Like, whether they are, I'm sure they're probably working something with Index Forza Horizon or whatever right now as well. But like, I would imagine most hands are on deck with Fable, right?
Yeah.
But going forward, if this hits like as good as it, I mean, because people have been asking for this kind of game, but this is different because it's like a fantasy game, like this kind of game. Like we haven't seen a fantasy game look this good ever. And we're going to see this happen. And if they nail the humor, which looks like they're going to do, they nail the writing, they nail the quest lines and all this kind of stuff in this open world. What does Playground become? Are they going to be this like tent pole developer that makes these crazy, big, huge games that nobody else can even dream of?
If Microsoft, let's say they pull this off real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to keep jumping in, but we talked so much Starfield last night. We didn't talk about this other stuff. I was thinking about this. Here's the big thing, though. They have pulled in so much talent from across the entire industry to make this game. They pulled in some of the old Lionhead people. They pulled in people from Sony's teams. They've pulled in everybody they could to make Fable. If they pull this off and Fable shows up, and let's say it is, in the 90s again, and this is up for Game of the Year when it drops, now Microsoft's challenge is to keep all that talent together. Because you have to. That studio is now a premier studio in the entire world. You have to get rid of this contract nonsense, and you have to keep all these people together. And then, yes, the sky is the limit for Playground. But if they have to reset, or they have, let's say, a third of them are turned over because of contracts, that's not going to keep you at the top. That's the difference between Sony Studios. And yes, there's still a lot of turnover at Sony Studios. I understand that. But it's not the same level as what happens at Microsoft. People have talked about this openly. So that's the next challenge because,
Do they set up contracts for their UK studios? Or
I don't know for sure if it's all contract work. I don't know how that works, Jasper. That'd be a question for 3-Bit. He'd probably have more insight on that. I don't know what it works like over there. But I'm just saying, if it is the case, that's your next big challenge, keeping that studio together so that they can go on to make Fable 2 again, or whatever they're going to do next, or maybe they branch out and do another type of, big game, right? Yeah. Whatever it is, keep that talent together.
And they've already lost quite a lot. Some, yes. Right? Of some high ups right there that have gone on to make great new studios, right? Yes. Which you can't blame them. I mean, sometimes people want to like, hey, it's been a great run. I want to go do something different now, and that's kind of what it seems more of what that is. And like those games are probably going to be on Xbox too, as well. So whatever they create, but the this Playground team really showed up, and like I don't know, Fuzzy, were you as impressed
because I think the biggest thing was I wasn't expecting it to have like a photorealistic look as far as for the characters. Like I totally expected the environment to look realistic. Just looking at Horizon, I had no doubt that the world would look like it's lived in and it looks realistic. But I figured it was going to be like a kind of like a stylized character set similar to like the previous games. I figured they'll have some sort of stylized look. So I wasn't as excited for it because I didn't play the old ones because I don't necessarily care for that style. But the fact that they made it more like photorealistic was a big surprise for me. And I think that's the big leap or the big jump. Not only is this huge for them, but huge in general for a game that's going to, probably be, somewhat, massive as far as size, not like Elder Scrolls size, but probably bigger than Avowed as far as the world itself and things. But I was caught off guard as far as the overall look. Was not expecting that. I know 3-Bit told us it would look real, and I just thought it meant like maybe the world and not the characters. But it showed up a lot better than expected. That I'll definitely give them that. And the fact that people can't believe that it's real. Like Pong was saying earlier, people didn't believe Forza Horizon 5 was real when it showed. So I don't understand why it's only Xbox studios that get this question mark. Oh, is it real? Well, this is CGI or it's not in game. No, they're lying. It's on PC. It's like, come on.
And you make a good point about the character models because like that's the one thing we hadn't really seen them do. Yeah, and they got the characters in Forza Horizon. And like if like people were afraid, hopefully that's not the character. Those kind of characters are in Fable because that would be really bad. You know what I mean? But we knew that they weren't doing that. It's a racing game side little character things they're doing there. This is on another level, and they looks like they put all of the eggs in the right baskets as far as resources to go into to make things like look as good as they possibly could. So. Visual fidelity wise, man, it's incredible.
If Playground pulls this off, they'll be on the level that Naughty Dog was before they got baited by Bungie. So Naughty Dog has fallen off.
Yeah, we'll see. Like Naughty Dog will show up with that space game eventually, right?
TLU2 didn't sell well. Like it did once they discounted it. Like they and then they didn't make it, but Last of Us Part 1 on PC tanked because of that. So
the interesting thing is, a hit. Because of Game Pass, it's like it's gonna have 20 million plus people play it. You know what I mean? Yep. Like just as a given, almost. Forza Horizon, because of Game Pass, like hit 20 million within like 6 months or something like that. And that's a racing game. Like from Forza Horizon had never done numbers like that before. And all these games, man, like they're gonna add more subscribers. So you're gonna get even more people that are gonna try these other games out. So that's kind of like compounds on itself. But I know Calories got to get out of here because he has a thing to get to in a few minutes. So first off, I want to say, great job on your first podcast ever, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for a blast. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll got to have you back on some other time soon. But we can say for the whole thing. But I want to let everybody know where they can find you. So go ahead and tell everybody about your channel that you
We're doing
started and all
outros.
that kind
What happened?
Calories got
I
a
gotta
thing.
go
He
to
told me beforehand he's got an
dance.
hour and a half. So
Mallory! No!
Mother's
Stay!
Day dance, man. The wife's all ready to go.
Oh,
But
all right.
yeah, the channel is Mr. Calorie. If you just look up Calorie Xbox, it'll show up. Thanks so much for having me on the channel. I'm thinking about doing what I'm gonna call like a waiting room for most of like Boomstick's podcasts. So like 30 minutes before his Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday podcast, I'm thinking of just starting up a live stream, and anybody that's sitting in his channel waiting can just join up. We can talk and chat, and then once he goes live, just move on over. So I'm gonna start doing that this week. If you guys see me live, jump on over, say hi. I know Talos, like most of us, are always in the chat just waiting anyway, so feel free to come over and say hi. And Mav, you're the bomb. We'll have to play some more Diablo soon. But I'm gonna head out.
Awesome.
you heard it now.
Later, Calorie.
Calories starting a podcast about podcasts. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a waiting group podcast. All right, catch you guys
Right
later.
on. Take it
Later.
easy, man.
Later.
You have a good one. Ass eating CLiCK with another $5 super chat. I haven't
Jesus.
seen. I haven't-
Vic, change your goddamn name.
I
would you?
haven't said ass eating this many times in one night in a long time. Oh wait.
What was the time before this?
I don't remember. $5 super chat
Kate's
from
birthday.
Ass Eating
I
CLiCK
was just
says,
gonna say that.
I know this. I won't eat her behind. Toilet paper wasn't invented till 1857. No, thank you. My God. I'm sure they used rags, man. They just use something else other than toilet
Oh.
paper, bro. It's
Yeah,
okay.
like a pine cone.
Oh my
Or their
God.
hands. Or the 3 shells.
Yeah, I was about to
The
say
three cells. Yes. One of the best.
Anybody in chat who catches that
Yeah.
reference, love you. Love you. If you catch that
I wanted to say it, but I won't.
Yeah, no.
Don't say it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Love that. I love that movie. Anyway. All right. So moving on. Fable, amazing. Avowed. I thought it was great. And another real quick note on Avowed. Super clean.
Yes.
I don't think that's valued enough at times within the graphical styles and stuff, but it just like looked ultra crisp and clean, and I really
It
liked
kind of
that.
looked like Borderlands, but they dropped the shell shading. Like I don't know, it was like
The
Kinda
shell
weird.
shading.
The
yeah, the
cell.
cell shading.
He's thinking of the 3 seashells. Still.
Seashell by down by the seashore.
So anyway, I thought it looked really clean. I love that about it. Hellblade
Yes,
2.
Froggy T, right. Yes. You got it. Love you.
Yes. Hellblade 2. Now some people are like, I wanted to see swords swinging, and I think a lot of us wanted to see that, but at the same time, they got with the 2024 date being given, and my assumption right now would be probably the first half, but we'll see. Maybe Avowed later in the year. I think they got more opportunities to show this game as well. But what they did show is what they wanted to show, which I think gave most people like chills when they were like watching it, and with the headphones on. I couldn't imagine being in that theater, like watching for anybody, because that sound and that was just insane. But graphics as well. They really wanted to focus on like the quality aspect of what they're able to accomplish. And we all want to see other things as well, right? Because they've shown this kind of stuff a few times already. But Hellblade 2, was it, I see some people saying just like discounting it almost because there was no sword fighting. Where did it sit for you, Chris?
To be honest, out of don't take this the wrong way, everybody, but out of everything that was shown, it was actually my least hyped game. I didn't play the first Hellblade. Not that I wouldn't have played it, but my least hyped moment until when I watched the showcase, I had to watch it like late at night, go dark from Twitter, so no one spoiled anything. But I had earbuds in, and the voices talking to her in her head was crazy, because you'd hear just like the left ear for a second while she was emphasizing on something, and then the voice would just jump to the right headphone. So that actually got me really hyped to see what's going to go on. And like I said, I wasn't hyped at all for Hellblade until I got to see that trailer.
Yeah. I think that do y'all think there'll be a dev direct for Hellblade 2?
Matt
Yes.
Booty. Matt Booty on
Yep.
I'm
Not a solo one, but a group one with some other stuff in there, I think.
I'm not sure if it's the correct show, but I think it was on Giant Bomb after the showcase. He did kind of say, "Don't be surprised if there's another show this year."
Right. I wonder if it'll be around Gamescom, a dev direct of some sort, because when they talked about, they also have Gamescom, they also have the Game Awards, which also let me think that they're gonna have something for the Game Awards right this year.
And he said also maybe something early next year as well.
Yeah.
So, which I think is definitely a dev direct tease.
Maybe you have like a September dev direct, late August, early September dev direct, and then you have like a January, like they did this year as well. That would space out right, and then kind of lead up to the games. And if you did one at the end of this year, though, like I would think it would be probably focus on Forza, Starfield, and then whatever the first game for next year would be. Right.
Or the games that they haven't talked about, which they said they got ready.
Right.
They got more ready.
So
to
maybe
talk
they
about,
show
right?
more like 2025 stuff,
or maybe
2024.
Age of Empires 4. They're gonna have to talk
Right.
about that at
Yeah.
some point too.
He,
So
he emphasized if you're worried about the games that weren't shown, that don't be surprised if there was another show of some sort.
Yeah.
Like Contraband.
Yeah, Contraband.
perfect.
I forget about that. That's
Right.
that one that
Indiana
was supposed
Jones.
to have already been out. before.
Indiana Jones. Yep. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Machine Game, id. I mean, there's a lot that we have
There's-
not seen.
Phil, id.
Id.
It's
Yeah,
it's
id.
crazy to think about how many things there are that we
Yes.
don't still know after a show like this. And that's why I think we could probably get shows like this every year almost.
Yeah. That's why I said they're lined up for the next two at least after this one. They're lined up for 2024 and 2025. I expect
Yeah.
showcases like this. Yep.
It's funny. It's gonna be amazing, dude. Even just for the showcases, fuck the games. Just the showcases are gonna be amazing, right? Like, holy crap! After so many years, like we're gonna have all these shows, and we talked about it before. Like, how are they gonna show all the projects that they are gonna have in the works? And then they pulled the 2022 showcase, and we're like, okay, I guess they're not ready to do that yet. And now we see what the vision is, so. Psycho, you're a big Hellblade fan.
Yes, sir.
What you were going crazy probably with the Hellblade 2, what they showed, right?
It looked really freaking great. The whole psychosis with the voices talking, that whole internal conflict, like Ninja Theory just does that so freaking well. That's why like Project Miro, when that's ready to be talked about, that's going to be nuts. But with Hellblade 2, what they showed was really that how her inner conflict, how it's different now than from what it was from the first game, and how they are responding to her, how they because they were at whatever that pool of whatever it was. I forget what they what they were talking about with the waters, but it was just like one side was like the good and evil, kind of like, oh no, you're not good enough, or like you're not ready, and they will know. It's really just done that. Her like internal struggle, they did that really well. Combat would have been, but if they do another develop direct with it, you're really gonna see, and that's all in gameplay. So I mean, again, here's two highly not highly realistic games, and the motion capture, and they said that the combat's going to be motion capture, so I think that they wanted to show off like the other aspect of Senua. So, I liked what they showed, but again, people are gonna be complaining about something. So,
Yeah. Everything, like, people are gonna look for something to complain about, right? And I know that when we saw Hellblade 2, when I saw what they kind of stuff they were showing, I was like, people are gonna bitch about this, because I heard all the conversation beforehand about if they don't show gameplay or sword fighting and combat in Hellblade, it's a fail. They said that kind of stuff a lot, but like I would, for me, it matters how good is what they what they showed is, right? Not what they haven't shown yet. Now I do want to see that other stuff. But the fact is, there's a lot of time still before that game comes out for us to see that stuff. So we're gonna get a look at it at some point, and when we get a look at it, then we can talk about it and judge it for what it is when we see it. Yeah. But there's no concern for me about it.
No, and that's all. And it was in gameplay, correct? Or not gameplay. It was in engine, I believe.
Yeah, that was
gameplay, and with Series X gameplay as well.
So what I think they were showing off was the fidelity of where Hellblade is now. Now with the reflections and the lighting has greatly improved. So for me, it was more of a technical showing of Hellblade 2 than trying to be like here's some combat. I think they were on the show like this is what you're going to be playing on the Series X. This is what you're playing. And I think people I don't know what a lot of people were thinking of when they saw it. I think it wasn't like it was each time they showed it, it's been different. The first time was just a CGI, but it looked it was in gameplay, it was in engine, but it was it was a CGI. It wasn't like, and it wasn't really gameplay. The announcement trailer. Then the second one was a somewhat combat type trailer, I guess, with the troll. And then this one was more of a here's the fidelity, because we really didn't have the internal struggle in any of those.
Yeah, they showed off more of the audio as well.
So yes, so this is they were showing different things in each time they showed off a trailer for Hellblade 2. So the next one, it could be maybe showing off that mocap combat, but this was more of the audio, more of the technical aspect with the lighting and the visuals. So if you look at what it was great. Getting that as gameplay and not hitting fucking X as a QTE like other games that they do. This game's gonna be freaking amazing. Yeah. And I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it was like crazy impressive. What they showed.
Yeah,
it shows they're doing what they've done in the past Hellblade, and we'll see. I think it's going to be expanded upon when we see it, maybe either later this year or early next year as well. But let's talk about.
Can I just say something real quick about Hellblade?
Yeah,
quick, just real quick.
That's fine. You go ahead.
It's fine. It's fine.
Just make it quick.
Yeah, I know. I'll make it quick.
You got 10 seconds.
The one thing to notice as well with this show, and I understand why people are allowed to say that they wanted to see combat. I have zero problem with people saying I was disappointed not seeing combat. I totally get that. For me, the big thing here was the next level of Ninja Theory in their environmental storytelling. With their sound, we already knew the sound was going to be incredible because the first Hellblade was incredible. But I want people to go back, if you have an interest in Hellblade, and actually rewatch that trailer and watch the environmental storytelling that was going on.
Yeah, like a
during
giant
that
butthole
scene.
on the wall.
Correct.
Yeah.
The environment itself, the walls were responding to the voices or interacting with her while that was all happening. That is another level for Ninja Theory. And it's going to add to the psychosis effect that you have, that the voices were on were one thing, but now you've got these visuals from the environment, these visual cues, these visual whatever you want to call them, happening at the same time. And I was like intensely watching that, and it was crazy. Like, again, everybody knows Hellblade 1. I still haven't finished yet. I'm about 70% through. But I have to take breaks after 45 minutes just because of the voices. I was watching that scene and I was like, oh, but 15 minutes, maybe I'll be able to max and play this game, because I was getting weirded out.
Yeah.
But that's a testament to what they're doing with this game, and I think that's what they wanted to show here as well, was the new direction that they have, where they're going to up the level of intensity within these scenes of her experiencing this. And I think that that's what they wanted to do with this. But I do understand everybody's frustration with no combat. I think we're going to eventually get it. They're going to show it off.
I
when
mean,
they
they're
get a big
going to.
reveal.
They're not going to release the game, and
They're
nobody
going
have
to.
never
Yeah.
seen the combat.
Yeah,
before,
no,
right?
no.
So,
Especially after they told us so much how,
yeah.
she did training for over a year, right? On the combat alone. They brought in all these specialists. They're eventually going to give everybody what they want. It just wasn't this time.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to get to Forza. Now, Forza, they didn't spend a lot of time on it this show, right? They showed a trailer, it looked great. But 2 days later, they had the Forza Monthly, and they blew Forza Career Mode out. And I was celebrating with my buddy Steel Rain, my brother Steel in the chat. He was playing an amazing troll. You're doing a great job playing the role of
He
troll.
always does.
Right now, Steel. It's fantastic.
I told him it's too early. It's not midnight yet. This is usually when
Yeah.
he starts it in the party chats. So,
but I want to get to Forza here. Now we've seen the game plenty of times. It looks mind-blowingly gorgeous, right? But Fuzz, were you happy with everything they unveiled at the Forza Monthly 2 days later?
I've been
with
waiting
the
for
career
this.
mode.
Let's go, Fuzz.
Oh yeah, I'll start with the time of day sequence, because the direct comparison would be to GT7, for example. They have it where in GT7 you can pick the time of day when the race starts, but it doesn't really progress until you complete a lap. So if it starts in the day and you want it to, make nighttime, if you stop on the track, basically time freezes in GT7. It actually shows, like, when you stop on the track, the clock is still ticking. The clouds are still moving. The rain is going to come in if it wants to. It has a real lived in or actual weather system and time of day system that continues whether you continue the race or stop on the side of the track. I know it probably sounds silly, but having that level of movement is big. Another thing that they did with the car point system, like a lot of people are referring to like a car.
Oh, not
But
now!
he got sniped.
No, come on!
Turn 10
no,
got him.
not-
Turn 10 got him.
No,
Fuzz.
Middle of the
polyphony.
Forza speech.
It's a perfect shot, though.
It is. I mean, he looks
it
like he's going off
polyphony?
on Forza right there.
Who makes GT7?
Polyphony Digital.
The cat pulled out the cord.
Polyphony.
One of his cats.
Probably so.
Polyphony is like,
Oh, has he
"You
come
cannot
back?"
Speak about this.
He'll be back. He'll be back. It's his new PC setup, right?
That's interesting. Like, I didn't watch the thing, but like,
Yeah.
is the weather just in like the day night cycle just gonna be like 5 minutes? Like it
Real
starts
time.
sun in like
Mhm.
oh, so like it's gonna be like a 24-hour thing. It's not just gonna be like 5 minutes. It's
It,
nighttime.
it,
like,
it will be. It's sped up for game period because they had the car sitting on the side, what Fuzzy was talking about, and they sped it up, obviously, but you could see it happening. So I don't know what the scale is, but there is a scale to it.
'cause it
Yeah,
just
for
would be weird. Like you do one lap and all of a sudden it's fucking nighttime. Like it's cool that it like transitions.
It'll
but
be
like,
it'll be gradual. Yeah, have you ever played like a long race in any one of them where it gradually goes
I
to
don't like
sundown and then
motorsports.
yeah, I know that's why I was asking Jasper. So it does happen that way if you play a long enough race where you can have it go through that cycle and you'll see the sunset and then it'll turn into nighttime. It's a cool feature is what Fuzzy was getting to. It does look like it's going to work great in this.
Yeah. So in the career mode, they said that they like in the rest of the game, like the weather you can set it or whatever, and it's also like dynamic and stuff as well. But in the career mode, they set specifically they want it to be wet in this rate. Like they want us to see certain things in the career and experience certain things in the career. So they have like pre-set up or predetermined things that are going to happen within that, which is pretty cool too, because I feel like it's like we're going to get more of an experience with that career mode, and they want us to experience everything within that. What Fuzzy was getting into was the car points, right? With the he was about to say car PG. Because that's what the words they use. And they've heard people call Forza Horizon that before. But this with motorsport, it's like it's different. It's like per car. You know, they kept talking about the car as in the car is a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to level
Fuzzy
up.
just said his power went out. So
his power went out. Oh, that's
Oh.
wow. We're right in the middle of Forza talk with Fuzz.
I know.
Fuck, you have to get it on FSP unless he gets back. What they're doing this thing is car points. So what I've wanted from Forza is to have to work my way up and not be given like all these crazy cars out, you know, like instantly, you know. And they said, which was music to my ears during their presentation, is that they've been hearing that from the community. They want more of a grind. People want more of like to have to work for things and stuff. And so they
like a couple points, you upgrade your engine, and then like you grind out a couple more points, you upgrade your brakes, stuff like that.
Yeah, so you start with your car, it'll be level 0, and you can level it up. I think they said to 50. At level 50, and you accumulate car points, right? Which is different than like the currency where you buy cars. Like there's car points that you spend like skill points, right? And you use like skill points or car points to like buy parts for the car. And if you take the part off, you get the car points back, and it can allocate them somewhere else. So like respecking your car.
Oh my god, and we know Matt loves that.
Oh, I'm gonna respec the shit out of my cars. You know, I'm gonna have like a sorcerer car. I'm gonna have a barbarian.
Hold on, guys. I gotta go drifting this time.
I just got some snow tires. I got to rebuild my whole car.
That's what it's gonna go. I'm gonna level up something. Oh my god, this unlocks whole new possibilities. I'm gonna have to like build. I'm gonna do an engine swap. Oh my god, this is it. You know, but I'm excited about that because that's gonna get us attached to these cars. It said like gameplay wise may take like 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever to get to max level on a specific car. Right? There's gonna be hundreds of cars in the game. So for me, I'm looking forward to that grind aspect of like getting attached to a car and leveling it up and stuff. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have a blast doing this. It's a completely reworked vision for that within Forza, because not only does that translate to the career mode, but in every mode in the game, like you're gonna be earning XP, and it's like you earn XP every corner. Right, so like you'll take a corner and it grades you on how you did your corner, and you earn experience points for your corner that you took. Right, so every race we're doing is judging us and giving us individual experience points. So I'm loving that aspect, and it's going to completely change the way that I approach playing Forza. So that's what Fuzzy was going to say, probably. I don't know. No, but Fuzzy was going to go into the PSI on the tires.
He was going to break it down.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, I know. I miss. I wish he didn't get kicked off with it. Damn power. But if you guys check out the Forza Monthly to see more about what they had to say, does that? Chris says no, not a motorsport guy, Chris.
Well, I didn't check out the Forza Monthly, but I do actually like Forza Motorsport over Forza Horizon. I like being in the controlled environment and turn 10, obviously, with all the physics and the water on the roads, and does an absolutely amazing job with all the physics. And I did, however, not like Forza 7 because back then you could buy the Fast and Furious cars, and I was new to the Forza series. This is my first Forza, and I upgraded my car so much that I couldn't race it anymore, and I didn't understand why.
It
And,
just became squirrely as hell. And...
well,
or
it
was
was,
it?
He went to an X class or whatever.
Okay, right.
and I didn't understand any of that, and apparently I didn't explain it well, and obviously I didn't have the connections that I have now. So you explaining about the car PG and all that stuff, that's absolutely amazing, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, and they still have the traditional ranking system too, so you can see like where your car's at with the classes and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Pong,
Yeah.
Like just do it for you, or
I still would like the GT with the used car aspect to it, but
Yeah,
I think the
still missing
point
that.
I because you and I have talked about this plenty of times. There are a couple things in GT that we still love to this day. But that's because we love the old junker cars and fixing them up.
Yeah.
That's the case. But the point system does intrigue me on how this is going to work. I'm happy to hear, because I did ask Fuzzy in the DMs when it first was talked about, and he did seem to like it, that this is going to be a good way to do this. So I am intrigued. And I think that obviously the game looks fantastic. The people out here already trying to say that it looks worse than GT7. Again, this nonsense in this community is unbelievable. But I think it looks fantastic. But I think this system definitely could be something that I could get into, specifically because they did talk about it like being an RPG. And you guys all know I love that loop. I love the power trip. I love getting skill points. I love that whole aspect. So if that actually translates well into a racing game that I already do enjoy, because I do like motorsport. I like both of them. But I do like motorsport. I do like the realistic type racing as well. I think this could be something cool. And I think this is maybe, they must have tested it a lot to make sure that it does, make people want to continue to build that same car over and over and over again. Like they said, fall in love with that one car. Well, if that works, then I'm in, because that will give me a little bit of that GT aspect, because you and I talked about it, Matt. One of the things was taking that junker, working your way up through that license, building up that car, getting those parts, fixing it up, making it a track beast, was a part of the appeal of that whole GT system. So if this just kind of is that same way, just different, I'm for it. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Jasper hates racing games.
Yeah.
I just don't like being stuck on a track.
So you're more excited for Motorfest, Crew Motorfest?
Well, I'm not excited for that game because it's unique.
Right on. So are you going to play Motorsport?
I'll give this one a try. The last one I played was on the 360. So
yeah, dude, I am so excited about something. It just popped in my head. We're gonna have Fun Speculation races.
Mm-hmm.
Fun Spec fam races. We can stream. We'll have, we already have the Drivatars, but we can have some streams where we have 7 or 8 of us or whatever on track racing on stream. And I gotta warn you guys, I'm not the cleanest driver at times.
You're one of those.
No, I'm not. But sometimes,
yes, you are.
You're one of those. Corners, and he'll just ram you into a wall. If
correct, he will.
Sometimes, if I'm having trouble getting past you, and I know that, the only way that I'm gonna do it is if I don't slow down in that turn and use you as a brake, right? Sometimes that's the way to get ahead, So we'll see what happens, right? But I'm excited about it. Yeah. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing, right?
Oh my God. You do more than rubbing. You do more than rubbing. And I'll see you guys in a year after I get back from space. So that'll be interesting.
You're not even going to play it. You're like, I'm
fucking I won't. I'm not. It's October. It's like a month after Starfield. It's like, it's not going to happen.
You're not even going to play you're not even going to install it or play it once?
No, it probably won't be any point. I mean, again, we'll see a month into Starfield where I'm at and what's going on, but chances are, no, Starfield will be that rare game for a grazer that that's all I play. I'm serious. It's gonna be.
Hey, that's awesome, man. You're like Psycho with Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
So, Psycho, you gonna play Forza, or you don't care about?
I don't know, because between Sea of Stars and then going into Starfield, I don't know if I'll have time for Forza. But this game has intrigued me quite a bit. Having an automotive background, really.
I'm gonna ask you questions about like what I should upgrade and stuff like that.
With motorsport, with everything that they're speaking of this time around, I'm like, ooh, being able to really, because sometimes with this game, when you adjust your fins, your spoilers, and your when you get that downforce, it really didn't portray that in the game too much. But if you have, because really that sticks you to the ground. So being taking corners at certain speeds, like drifting and everything, that really comes how you have your camber and your caster for your suspension. That all plays a part when you're doing drifting. So if they really fine tune the tuning aspect of this game, it could really get enthusiasts very, very intrigued with motorsport, because of how realistic it. Like when you make an adjustment, you feel it in the game. If they went that far with this motorsport, it's gonna be amazing, and people will not stop talking about it. I know Daler, he loves motorsport, and when he was just recently with Horizon 5, with his tunes, he really knew what he needed to add and what not to have to really get the peak performance within a certain class. So I think with this one, you'll have that as well, because the campaign aspect of it, really upgrading like your suspension or your brakes, because you can go as fast as you want, but don't forget you need to stop too. So those are things that are people gonna focus too much on power and not enough on if you upgrade your braking, because then people are gonna be slamming into walls or into other drivers. Math. If they don't upgrade if they don't upgrade your braking alongside with your tuning of the engine, because you don't want to go too crazy right off the rip. You don't want to have you want to do just a little bit. The thing with power, the more air goes into the engine and out, the more power you get. That's the thing you need to remember. So just keep that in tune, and then of course use the braking and everything else that's involved.
Yeah, for sure. And they've been Forza's been pretty deep on that stuff for a long time. What are you saying, Jasper?
I was just saying that's our Forza talk. That now that Fuzzy's back.
Welcome back, Fuzz. Oh man.
Hey, sorry about that.
that PC is so powerful. It cut your power off.
Either Turn 10 or Polyphony are going to great lengths to stop you right now, Fuzzy. Yeah. Which one is it?
No, there was a storm earlier and the power flickered and then it came back on, and I'm assuming Pico decided to, I guess, reroute it again back to its original transformer and forgot to make sure this cul-de-sac was connected. So
is that what you did? You went into their system then and made sure it was right?
Probably. Like,
Again, there's
on
nothing
his
that Fuzzy
phone,
can't do.
hacking,
Yeah.
like, allocate power back to my address. You know, all of it. So you're about to say CarPG, Fuzz.
yeah, they decided to put car points into this CarPG point or CarPG system where you're going to level up your car, and then after you get a certain amount of points, you can customize it, add parts, and then let's say that tune doesn't work for a particular race you want to enter, you can then refund those points and then respec the car the way you want, which is one of the cool things I like compared to like other motorsport games or even GT7 where all of your like winnings from races is what goes into buying cars as well as the parts for the cars. And then unfortunately, like in GT7, once you buy the parts for the car, I mean, some of them you can take off, like you can change the brakes, change the intake, you can change the mufflers, but that's about it. Any internals you do to the engine are there until the engine blows up type of thing, or until you do an engine swap. This, it seems like you can try some things out, see if you get a little bit more of an advantage in like a lower spec race, or you can spec up the car for a higher spec race and then switch in between it. Now, the one question mark that I have is I don't know if they're going to have the sharing of tunes like they used to, because I might have my one car level to level 20 and others might have theirs to level 18 or 19. I'm not sure if my tune might transfer over to their leveling. So that's the only like question mark in that regard. But that was a big change that's welcomed. The AI reworking, that's another one where before the first turn for every race with some of the Forza games, not online, but like just with the AI, they would either like all jam up and crash or hit the brakes and panic stop going through the first turn, where you're either going to have to get there first or wait until everybody else as far as the AI crash or make their way through the turn. So it looks like the AI is not strictly on rails for the racing line. So you can have side by side racing. The AI will do side by side without knocking you out of the line and trying to take your spot type of thing. And it doesn't look like there's going to be rubber banding like they used to do, where if you set the AI to unbeatable, it's always like they gave the AI 5 extra horsepower or gave them 5 extra grip. So unless you're running perfect laps and drafting off of them, you would have a hard time catching them and then passing them. And then once you pass them, it was almost like they would fall off and go back to normal speeds. But now it's going to be more where you can outbrake the AI in the turns. You can, hit the apex a little bit better, or just set up your car so you can take the turns a little bit wider and get more of a better exit out of the turn or something along those lines. So the AI change is going to be huge. And I do a lot of AI racing in GT7, as you guys can probably see from the replay clips. So that change is going to be a big improvement, even over what Sony did with the Sophie AI that they have for GT7. So having AI learning is a big step forward. So those are just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that they've improved, like the points of contact for tires, which we've talked about this before, where things like heat will affect it more, rubbering on the track as far as the particular like drive lines and stuff, where other cars heating that same path and laying rubber down is going to make it a little bit better grip, or if it's a hotter day, might make it a little bit slicker going through that area. And different tire compounds, the wear rate, the fuel consumption rate, things you can adjust, and you can adjust that before you even do the main showcase race, and you can kind of pick where you want to start, or you can have it where you can start from the back to get a little bit more winnings. Like basically it's almost like betting or gambling to do the pre-race. So a lot of that stuff are cool add-ons. The last thing I want to see is if I can pick the car and the tune and maybe the paint scheme for the AI cars. That would be huge, just so I can recreate some like I posted on Twitter earlier, MX5 Cup, like the Miatas. There's a whole series part of IMSA where those cars are like identical tunes, engine power and all that are basically on par with each other, and it comes down to the driver. So it makes for real tight racing in a lower speed car, but it's cool. So I want to recreate stuff like that. And then me being a muscle car fan, I want not naturally aspirated, not necessarily the GT500, but like a GT350 versus like a Camaro SS 1LE versus, a Challenger with a 392 setup. Something that's not supercharged, have those where it's just power to weight ratio and see how it goes kind of thing. But man, they just so much of an improvement over what they've had in 7 and Forza Motorsport 7 was no slouch by any means, but visually they stepped up, AI they stepped up. The career mode is now going to be something that you can kind of play at your own pace kind of thing, and just makes for like each car will feel more earned. I know a lot of people used to hate about, oh, the wheel spins, I win a car. I run a race, I win a wheel spin, I win a car. So now it may not be the grind fest that Gran Turismo was, but it will make you more aware of the car you pick. You can customize the car more to your liking and just level that car up as you go through your racing career. So all of those were cool points, and I probably rambled enough. So sorry.
No,
for all you
that's
guys.
you were talking about something that was a good point, because I was thinking about this as you were talking, Fuzz, because like in past, this is the biggest fundamental change for me. In the past Forzas, you just accumulate a shit ton of money really fast, right? And then you can pretty much buy whatever you want and then jack it all the way up to whatever performance you want, just get somebody else's tune and all that kind of stuff, and you're good to go. It's just easy, and you got so much cash, you just do a few races or whatever. But in this, if you decide you want to switch cars, you're going to have to level up that car in order to get those points to be able to get the parts on it, right? So it's not like, hey, I'm going to just randomly pick all this different stuff. And the more I'm thinking about it, that may piss some people off, but that excites me more,
Allow you to use your money to skip levels, like your in-game money? Like, can you say level 1 costs 1,000? Oh, okay.
Those are going to be microtransactions. Where you can buy
they said no on that stuff. They said no.
No.
They said that they did talk about monetization. They said it's like just car passes and stuff like that. But the that's the biggest thing. Like, let's say I have spent 4 hours in this car. I want to go and oh my god, there's this fucking new Supra. I want to go try it on these tracks. Okay, well, I can get it, but it's gonna start stock. I'm gonna have to level it up, and doing that with all the cars I care about is gonna be the fun for me in this game. Right. And then if you take that into online, which cars did you spend your time with? It's not just like, which car did you buy? Right. And because it was an investment, like a character, like they said, like if I think about my Diablo character, I spent all this time with my sorcerer that I have right now. Yeah, I can't just go make a barbarian and be level 75 or whatever. You know what I mean? I have to put in the work again, so that's going to be the case with the cars. And they did say something else that was intriguing. There's a big multiplayer mode they have not revealed yet. That's the core fundamental aspect of the multiplayer. They said the regular traditional multiplayer modes are going to be there, but there's like something. They said the primary multiplayer mode is something new, and they haven't revealed it yet, and they're going to talk about that at a later date. So
our battle royale.
And the next, well, they've already done that with
I was thinking like tournaments or something, probably.
I don't know. I'm really intrigued by it. So in the next couple months, we're gonna find out what that is. So
it's like a Mario Kart with the cup. So you do 4 races and then whoever wins it.
I have a feeling with the tone of this game, it's gonna be some kind of serious mode, right? I want a full blown out car club system like they used to do back in the day. That's what it was all about.
That'd be great.
I have a feeling they will, because something that they showed that wasn't related directly to motorsport, but they were talking about as far as like the previous Motorsport 7 and even with Horizon with some of the car clubs in those games and how they have tournaments where they'll have heat races. So you might have like, let's say a car club of 20 people, and not all of them can make it into the race because there might only be 12 slots. So you might have to do 2 heat races of 10 and see who the top finishers are and then cut the field down before you can get to the big show. And if you're in a bigger car club, you'll have even more heat races where you're 1, helping level up your car, probably 2, getting more experience, and 3, getting more earnings or winnings as far as for to put towards other cars and things. So it will be like an event for the weekend where, hey, the tournament's on Sunday. You can set your lap times on Friday. All right, you're in Heat 1, and if you make it out of Heat 1, you can go to the second round of Heat qualifying and stuff. And I have a feeling they'll do a lot of that stuff, and probably have like lap time comparisons and fastest lap in this class of car, or homologated car races and things like that. So I look forward to all the stuff that they're going to talk about on this.
Yeah.
But my feeling is it's going to be a more thorough online than what even GT7 has now. And it's not going to be about, oh, well, we used to have rammers and whatnot as far as in motorsport. I think they'll have it where those people that want to ram into other people, they'll be in their own kind of, funneled group, I guess you could say. So it won't be one of those things where you have to worry about the guy behind you purposely running you off the track. I mean, the guy that purposely runs people off the track will have to worry about that. That other people do the same thing to them. But yeah, I think they're going to step up their penalty system and their rating system and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right on.
Now, do you think, Fuzzy, with the upgrading and really fine tuning your vehicle, you think that they were going to go with the older vehicles? You think they're going to be able to change your CFM for your carburetors, or you think or are they not going to go that in tune?
I'm curious if they will, because they talked about trying that later in 7, and even they were supposed to do something along those lines in Horizon 5, where you could adjust the tuning, like the fuel mix. I think they will have a fuel mix set up similar to what GT7 has. Like you can run it a little bit lean or a little rich. Like the normal setting would be like midway, and you might be able to get 20 laps out of that setup. You run it a little lean, you might be able to get 22 laps. If you run it a little rich, you might only get 18 laps. So I think they will allow you to do some stuff like that. More of a like, if you're not necessarily running from like a double barrel to a 4-barrel carburetor setup, but I think they will allow you to tune at least that stuff. I wish they could tune like cams and lifters and things like that, but then that would probably make it too complicated for people, and people would get frustrated.
You
But
think we're going to be
yeah,
able
I
to
blew
change
my
our
engine.
spark plugs?
Well, they should have at least like an advanced setting for people that really want to fine tune.
Yeah.
They want to go with the bigger lobes on the cams, or whatever the case is.
I will say they used to have more body kits back in the day for the cars. I would like that to be back. For every car used to have like 5 different bumpers. Sometimes now there's only like, you get the Forza one. Come on.
Yeah.
I want all of them. I want every like fucking manufacturer for every car that exists.
Well, this one looked like it had a wide body
Yeah.
kit. I forget which car it was, but it had
the
It was
Nissan.
for
Z.
the new Vet had a new wide body kit, which kind
Yeah.
of makes it like the Z06 to some extent at that point. But yeah, I would love for them to kind of borrow some of the stuff from GT7 in the sense that you can make almost any car a wide body except for actual race cars, because they're already kind of a wide body kit type of deal where they pull the fenders and stuff. But make it so you could take a street, let's say Supra or street Nissan Z, and make it into like a Group 3 or Group 4, track car. The same aero kits and things like that, the roll cage and the whole nine. I hope they allow you to do that. So if you buy the car stock and then you made it like a weekend warrior kind of car, you put your numbers on it, you put the better tires, better brakes and stuff. And then, as you level it completely up, it can race against, like a GT3 or GT4 group car.
Right on.
No.
Well, this has been Forza Talk with Fuzzy. Absolutely amazing. I would talk about aspirating.
Do you think it's better to run your tires at 33 psi or 32 psi?
No, there are advantages to it. I mean, it sounds like they're going to have the heat temps
Depends on
and
the
things
track.
like that play into it. So if you run a little bit lower pressure, it may take longer for the tires to heat up, but then you won't have as
wear.
much of a sidewall deformation and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I that me nerding out, I used to, like, for the NASCAR game, I would run different pressures on each tire. It'd be like lower pressures on the right hand side, so that way it would kind of grip the track a little bit better because you're always turning left. So if you're into the banking and the cars, gravity's pulling it outward, you'd want it that way. But that's a whole nother. I don't know if they ever go that
Yeah.
far. But
no
they do
air
allow you
in
to
my
adjust the
tires
air
on the
pressure.
left and like 50 psi on the right, and you just that'd be interesting. Acid and Click with another $2 super chat. It says wall hugging Mav. We know you're kind. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say I try and play it clean when I'm playing online, but when I'm playing with friends, I might just have some fun time to time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun
He
for who?
completely changes his racing style when he plays with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you see my drivatar do some crazy shit, it's not because it learned it from me. That shit's broken. Okay. I'm just gonna say. All right. We got. Oh, there's a doggy. It's a cat barking.
Yeah.
That's the cat barking. Your cat's got a problem, Fuzzy.
You need to get that. You need
thinks
to get
it's a
that
dog.
cat checked out, man. It's confused. It's in between meows. There was like a ruff in there. All right. Let's get into Star Wars Outlaws real quick. Jasper, is this something like, does this excite you? I know you're a Star Trek guy first. Okay.
You can like
this,
both.
This has to do with space, so I'm assuming you liked it.
Yeah.
Does it excite you more than like a Jedi Survivor does?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, Star Wars is great with the lightsabers and all, but like sometimes you just don't want to be a Jedi. You just kind of want to be a normal dude in the universe. And this is probably the most hyped Star Wars game I've been in a while. Like, I don't know, the Jedi Survivor, I just haven't been able to get into it. One, because the frame rate and all that shit's like all over the place. But like, it's an okay game. It's not like the best game, but so yeah, I'm probably looking forward to this game.
Did you like when you saw you could go into space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Were you like, wow?
I mean, it's just a spaceship in space. Like, you've seen it before. It's not the wow moment of the game, but it's cool.
What was the wow moment of the game for you?
I don't know, just like the blasters shooting people. Like,
Yeah. Okay. We had the same. We had the
Side
same wow
boob.
moment.
Jasper's
Side
so
boob.
simple tonight. Jasper's so simple tonight.
I know.
Like it.
Yeah.
I know he's
it
being
is.
very basic Jasper tonight.
okay.
Was there side boob, Psycho?
No, Psycho's just trying to start shit.
Okay, I didn't
It's
see.
getting
any,
late in the show.
I didn't see any side boob in Star Wars Outlaws.
No, I'm trying to get Jasper to rewatch it. Come on, yo.
to rewind.
There was a lot of side boob.
So
Oh, that was the cool part. I like not the stupid animal companion, but her like actual like companion, the robot is like a BX commando droid from like the Clone Wars era stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
right on. Chris, is this a game that tickled your fancy?
Well, you might not let me back on the show after I tell you this, but I never seen a Star Wars movie all the way through.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's it. Cut him off. He's out of here.
I had a friend.
Are you telling me you haven't seen Solo?
Oh my
I've
god.
not seen any of the Star Wars
I mean,
movies.
Solo's the only one that matters, though, right?
Dude.
No, it's not. And stop it. Because if he ever decides to watch one and he goes, "Oh, Mav said Solo was really good," and he watches
You
Solo, he's
gotta
gonna be like,
watch-
what the fuck is everybody talking
You
about?
gotta
This
watch
Star Wars is
Solo
shit.
first. You know, that's the
That's
only.
completely trustworthy.
You don't.
You know, every
Start with
movie.
episode 8 and then just pick a random one after that.
Every movie's downhill from Solo.
But I had a friend that I grew up with throughout school, and he had a handicapped brother that was obsessed with Star Wars. So like I've seen like major scenes and fight scenes, so I know like a little bit of the story, but I've never actually seen a whole movie yet. Now, as for this game, it doesn't appear that I have to know anything about Star Wars, which I do like. Because if I had to, go back and watch all the movies again, I'd kind of be upset then. But it looks like you get to be like running from the law, being hunted by bounty hunters. That's the type of stuff I'm in. It gives me, the way I played my Commander Shepard, gives me a little Mass Effect vibes. I'm definitely excited to jump into my first Star Wars game outside Battlefront 2.
Right on. What would it take to get you to watch all the Star Wars movies?
A strong recommendation from people that I trust.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it. You got the original trilogy.
Yeah.
You got to go watch it. You have to.
Yeah, I would say watch the original trilogy, then watch episodes 1, 2, and 3. Right?
Correct. And you can skip pretty much everything else.
Except for Rogue One.
Except
Rogue
for,
One.
Except for
Rogue One.
watch Rogue One. And
Yeah.
I came back. I gotta admit, again, for some reason, the first time I saw Solo, I was like, wow, that was really good, right? Then later I tried to rewatch it and it was absolute horse shit. So I had completely flipped on my love for the Solo movie. I think I was just in a really good mood when I saw it the first time, I guess. I don't know.
Really.
So 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
That's how we saw it.
I've watched Spaceballs, if that gives me any brownie points.
It does. I mean, that's
May the swords be with you.
Fantastic movie. You've got the basics of Star Wars in there, so you won't be totally lost when you walk in. You'd be like, "Oh, I reckon looks totally different, but I recognize that dude, right?" No, but no. And you just got to. You have to watch. And you got to be one of those people that understands, Chris, that the movies were made at a different time. So you're not watching something like now. So the special effects are, even though they've redone them, they've gone back. It's still like you got to know that it's in that time period. But if you can do that, yes, you absolutely should watch them. Absolutely, 100%. It's worth it. It's a culture. It's a touchstone in culture. Like it's Star Wars. You gotta know it. You gotta know
and
it.
older movies and older video games doesn't really bother me. Matt convinced me to buy a PS2 game last year. I forget what the name of it is. I still play
Rogue Galaxy.
Rogue
Galaxy. Oh yeah.
Good movie. I still play the old games. I still watch old movies. Lord of the Rings is an older movie. Still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
so I promise I will watch the Star Wars movies. At least the first 6.
Yeah. Just try it. Just try.
I even got Kate to watch episodes 4, 5, or 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3.
She started watching episode 4 after because she wanted to watch in
story order.
Just understand too, Chris. Once you watch Empire Strikes Back, everything else is downhill from there. But there's still enjoyment to be had. So,
I think the episodes 1, 2, and 3 hit better, like the further they've gone out from release. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
I wonder if the same thing will happen with the
Rey
No.
It's only going to get worse.
Yes,
only going to get worse.
It'll only get worse. Yes.
You don't think like 15 years from now, we'll be like, those weren't so bad after all.
No.
Only if there's worse ones that come out after.
You can't change the characters.
Happen.
You can't change the writing, and so no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but
again, Rogue One
is great.
Rogue One, yeah. Shout out to Gary Whitta. Shout out to everybody that worked on that one. That captured the most. That's the one that I've said. The more I've watched that one, the more I actually do like it. Like it is.
He could watch Rogue One before watching episodes 4, 5, and 6.
No, because he'd be lost. Well,
because that's a prequel to 4. Right?
It is a prequel to 4. But then he's going to go from like a modern day one to watching the older ones, and it could be a shock. I'd start with the originals and then work away. Yeah.
Because then you'll know, oh, that's what that shit means. All right, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be watching the originals, right? Then you'll be watching a prequel to the originals.
Yeah.
And then you'll be watching something that took place in between those two trilogies.
But it kind of fits it all together.
Yes. It's really well done, mate. It's really done well.
Chris is like, okay, you guys have told me enough. I'm going to watch these movies. Stop talking.
Anyway. All right. So, Pong, you said that you're even sold on this.
Yeah. Day one. like I said, other than the cute little side character thing that Disney loves, I don't remember his name. What was his name?
I
Dot
have no idea.
or not or something. I don't know what the hell it
Nyx.
was.
It was
Anyway,
Nyx.
Talked about him. I tuned out. I don't care.
oh yeah, it was Nyx. That's right. It was Nyx.
Nyx.
Yeah, no. Give me big giant Wookiee side characters. We're good. You give me Chewies, you give me stuff like that. I'm good. But these cute little characters, these Disneyfied things, that can go away. Anyways, outside of that, everything else I loved. The fact that once again it is set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. You're speaking directly to me because they just don't make the games in that time frame for Star Wars. So right away, it's already a win. Then you win me over with the main character, Kay. Her whole look, her whole attitude, everything about her, I am in 100% on her as a character. The fact that they gave her the Han Solo-esque type comedy, and quick wittedness during battle. Love that. That reminds me of the movies. So again, and it worked. The lines, the actress that does her voice is perfect. Like you said, Mav, last night, the way that they showed her off being quick on the trigger. Like, again, Star Wars, for a long time, it's always we get the good, the light side. Everything is great. Everything is blah, blah, blah. I love it when they've got the characters that walk the gray or we get into the dark side. She is obviously in the gray. She is somebody that was forced to turn to a life of, which, I mean, they talked about it. She was forced into this life to survive, and she found her way to the seedy alleys and started doing, things that weren't necessarily legal, right? And she fell in love with it, and she found out that she's good at it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love the whole aesthetic of the game. It's gorgeous. It's Snowdrop. It's massive. I love massive. I knew they would pull this off, whatever they were doing for Star Wars. The fact that we can go into space, that this is going to be a semi-open universe, whatever you want to call it, where you get to travel to different planets.
I hope we can go to familiar planets and not just Tatooine. Like, I would be cool, like, walking the streets of, like, Coruscant or something like that.
Sure, it would be cool. Or give me something brand new that I've never experienced in Star Wars 2, right? I don't need to always be familiar with it.
Well, some of the new games, they just keep going to, like, planets that all kind of look the same. It has a bunch of flowers and shit everywhere. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but, like...
This one seems like you're going to definitely need to be in, like, cities and populated. She's going to be dealing with stuff. But how are they pulling it out? But the whole aesthetic of the game, we talked about it last night, Mav, the way they did the graphics, all the fonts match Star Wars.
Yeah.
The warning that pops up when you're wanted, like, that was perfect. Like, I loved that. Little flair. So again, yeah, I'm day one on this game. I'm all in. I want to see more, but I'm all in. So yeah, absolutely.
It screamed Star Wars to me. Like the best parts that I love. You know what I mean about it.
Yes.
So
yes.
If you could, Pong, would you just go up to your cute little sidekick and shoot it in the head immediately at the beginning of the game?
Just
I know you're the 100th rarest animal that we always see in Star Wars now. Like, this animal's never been found anywhere else, and you just so happen to have one. But yeah, no, sorry, buddy.
I wonder if they all
I'm
come
gonna
from
do
the
better
same
on my
planet.
own. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe there's just one rare planet that produces
no
rare
one's ever been to.
creatures that nobody's ever been to.
Everything here is original. There's nothing else.
Right.
There's
right. The entire planet's like a fingerprint.
There's a fucking Nyx over there.
No. Nope. I would definitely be done with those sidekicks again. Whether it's a little tiny droid that's cute or these little creatures that are cute, I just don't care. Give me big things. Give me humanoid things. Fully fleshed out, like. But these little cute things, like, again, come on, man. We've seen them so many times.
But you can buy a plushie of it when the game comes out.
No, right. And I understand why they do it. Again, business side of me, I always understand why they do it. It sells. So it's fine, right? But
I'm going to get
Star
one.
Wars, I'm done with
I'm gonna get a little Nyx. I'm going to put her right here so you have to see it every fucking
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. It's in your house. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, so we also got Starfield. It's this little game.
Never heard of it.
This game, Starfield. They showed that it was. I think it was all right. What do you guys think?
Yeah, just right. No Man's Sky.
Yes. No Man's Sky clone, right? I mean, it's all there is to do. Just harvesting iron on fucking barren planets. It
really needs to justify why it exists.
Procedurally generated shit. I mean, it's just all it is. Just this is what people see saying about it. I've
This is
asked
the closest thing to a Jedi simulator based on that last clip.
Right? Man, I've seen people say, and I agree, like that may be the best actual breakdown deep dive on a showcase of a single game ever. Pong's watched it 18 times already. I've watched it a couple, and like there's just so much. This is that end all be all space game they said it was going to be. Right? Todd wasn't talking out of his ass when he said that. He said end all be all. Like we're gonna have the experience we want to make for ourselves in this game. And I'm fucking pumped for it, man. Like anybody's trying to downplay the scope, the ambition, everything that's involved with trying to make a game like this, just because of something that they don't like or whatever,
or something they don't have.
Something they don't have, for sure. I'm get Game Pass. Like play it in the cloud, you'll have a blast still. Fucking, you're gonna want to try if you have any kind of like of RPGs or whatever. You want to experience a game that's never been done before, like in ambition and scope. Try Starfield. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm curious about Fuzz's thoughts on this because we haven't really had a chance to talk about it, man. We didn't have our show Monday night because we had more co-streams that day. So this is the first chance I've had to talk to you really, I think, since the last week. Where are you at with Starfield, bro?
Blown away. I mean, any game where you can be a sandwich pirate and make that your thing. I mean, come on. That alone. No, but I like the fact that they showed that you can, fight another ship, and instead of just blowing it to bits, board it. Kill the people, make it personal. Take the ship, add it to your fleet. That was one of the things that I really wanted to see if they would allow you to do, because I'm going to try to recruit people, and I'm going to get them ships, and we're going to have like our own little armada flying through space. I don't know if we're going to be pirates or if we're going to be like the police or whatever, but the fact that you can make your own fleet by stealing ships and recruiting people, and let's say the guy that shot out one of your thrusters pissed you off, board his ship and make it personal, just blow his face off, and then take a sandwich and put it in storage. Like, there's just so many unbelievable things that you can do, and the fact that he's pointing out stuff like, oh, you see that moon over there? Yeah, you can go to that, and the other system across, yeah, you can get there. You may have to upgrade your ship and stuff, but just endless possibilities. And the one little force power thing at the end was like awesome. That, I think, even if it's just you have to complete most of the story to get to that point, everybody's going to try to at least get to that. And I can only imagine the PC mods for lightsabers and different ships and things, and the fact that you can make like an Optimus Prime looking ship, like it's if you can imagine it, it's possible in this game, just about. And
that's what, like, you were talking about stealing ships and stuff, and like I just thought of like, I wonder how many ships you can dock together. Like, can you just like dock like 50 ships together and just like run through like the airlocks all together and just like
make a space station out of docked ships. Yeah. Like, there's just, and everybody's going to try these different things like that's the awesome part about this. And I know there's people out there like, 1,000 planets. It's like you
got to have somewhere to put all your stolen ships.
Silly stuff. like we look at Mass Effect. Just take that for example. Everybody seems to love at least one of the 4 Mass Effect titles that were released. Add up all those games. Does it equal 1,000 planets? No. So you have all of Mass Effect universe and then some in this game. And you can actually explore the entire planet, not just look, oh, it's got resources. Oh, I can only land in this spot where there's a city. No, you can land anywhere. Like, I can't imagine asking for anything more. Like, this game is like the way Grand Theft Auto is for an open world sandbox. This is the open universe sandbox, and I'm all for it. Like, I can't wait until this game comes out. Like I said, I'm gonna be stealing ships, making a fleet, and then just taking over whole regions of space if I can, and setting up bases and just random stuff. And then I'm gonna have like a zoo of all the creatures I find on random planets. Like there's just so much stuff that I'm gonna try and just have fun with. Like this game is nothing but all the things we've ever dreamed of and then some. Like it's essentially Star Citizen with an actual story and more freedom. And it's probably not going to be any more like it's probably
And
gonna
it's
be more
releasing.
yeah, it's releasing. It's not in early access. And the persistent space thing that they added recently to Star Citizen broke their servers for like over a month or so. This is going to have that indefinitely from get go without a problem. Like I can't imagine asking for anything more. Like I think about the only other thing would be if you could have all the space genre movies and sci-fi shows as DLC at day one. That'd be about the only other thing you can ask for. I mean, you can almost make that yourself in the game. So before mods even hit it, yeah, I can't wait. Like Forza's up there for me, but this is I'm gonna have to figure out how fast I can finish Diablo between now and September. Like, and there's no finishing Diablo. I'm just gonna have to find a way to put it down. I don't know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, what level are you in Diablo now?
I'm only 55 or 56.
Okay.
I took like a week break and I haven't really upgraded my gear, and I'm starting to because I have a couple of pieces that have things that jive with what I have for my fire build. But it's like I keep on getting blue pants that are much higher level than the legendary pants that I can buy or buy with oobles or getting drops from like tier 3 or world tier 3 stuff. So it's like I don't know. I'm having weird luck all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I took a week off. It's punishing me.
Punishing you. Yeah.
It's like
I need to play some more. I've still been addicted. Chris, Starfield, bro. Is it the end all be all game for you, or
It's not a JRPG, Chris.
I
So
know.
I know that's the baseline.
I'm gonna still let you talk about metaphor.
Despite what everybody thinks, I don't just play JRPGs. Starfield's actually, I didn't get to say it at the beginning of the show because I completely forgot before we started talking, was my biggest hype moment for the whole show, even over Metaphor, over the Persona Tactica, everything. The audio in this game, just in what they showed of the gameplay that we got to see, the audio was perfect, the music, everything looked amazing, and Mass Effect is in one of my top 5 favorite video games of all time. And I love space. I love exploration. My ship, I'm probably going to build the Normandy. I'm not going to lie. Maybe Serenity from Firefly, if you know what that TV show is.
I'm doing Serenity, damn it.
Well, there's one reason I want to get a PC is for the mods, so the ships can actually look like them for real. You know what I mean? That I really want to experience that.
And it's kind of funny that they showed the sandwich collecting in the trailer, because something I remember doing in Skyrim is I used to collect the skulls of everybody that I killed, and I just load them up in one of the rooms in the houses. The few houses you get in Skyrim, my house would just be full of dead people's skulls, troll skulls.
Chris Jones being Predator out here in Skyrim.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing was definitely, besides the shipbuilding, was the music. Everything in the Elder Scrolls series, the Fallout series, a big takeaway is how amazing the composing of the music is. And
Enon Zur for this one. Shout out to him.
One of the reasons I like Suikoden 2 so much is As a kid, when I played that game, the music made me understand the intensity of certain situations in the game. Like if someone died, like I felt that. And when going into Starfield, I feel the music is definitely going to, somebody dies, you're going to feel it. And the music's just amazing.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to it, bro. Like, it's going to be amazing. Jasper, you've had time to process everything we've seen.
Yep.
I know you've been geeking out about it because you made Starfield videos before already, just even talking about how the stars align and shit. You know what I mean? So like, what was your biggest takeaways from it? Because I know you watched it probably in a different way than I did, right?
Yeah. I just want to break the fucking physics in the game. Just like I just want to play with the physics and see like what it can actually do. Also, like, I don't care if it takes me 5 hours or 15 hours. I'm making the Enterprise. However long it takes me to grind out the materials, that's what I'm making. Like, Starfield is like what I wish the universe was like today. That's why, like, it's the closest thing I'm ever going to get to what I wish we lived like. I don't know. So that's why I'm hyped for it.
Yeah. I was thinking about something too, like when Fuzzy was talking about like rating ships and stuff. Just think about the possibility of this, okay? If ZeniMax Online's game is a Starfield MMO and they take what they built and they manipulate it into this big, massive online experience, we could literally be a team, like a crew of raiders, like stealing other people's ships and stuff, like a pirate crew, a space pirates, fun speculation, fans coming for your ass. You know, like just the thoughts about that just made me go crazy, bro. I hope that's the game now. Like before, I wanted it to be something else, you know, but like, God, to think of with everything that Starfield's capable of, you know, I want ZeniMax Online's game to be a Starfield
like that. Like, I don't know how like advanced that would be, but it'd be so cool to have like you on shields and like someone on the helm.
Oh
and
my
just,
God, dude! Like Sea of Thieves, but in space, like in a way.
That's what I was
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. You know, hey, set the photons to stage 6. Hey, get the warp speed drive ready. I don't know. Get the warp speed drive ready to go. We gotta hit light speed soon, bro.
All she's got, Captain.
Mav, in Starfield, it's grav jumping. Manipulating gravity.
Hey, Jasper, I'm down here on planet Xeon. Can you please beam me up? Because we gotta go. I got a bunch of weird fuckers here coming to attack my ass. I can imagine the fun we could have in this space epic online RPG. God, they gotta make this happen now, bro.
They will.
Man.
I believe they will.
I'll be that'll be my next big thing, you know. Well, if imagine, like, just think of it, it's crazy.
The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless already as a single player game. If you add multiplayer, it's over the top. Like I don't even know if they're ready for all of that with multiplayer. What could actually honestly happen? But yeah, just talking with Scalzi last night. I mean, again, every time, that's the biggest thing about this game is when you talk about it and then start realizing, oh no, wait, that is actually in the game. Oh wait, what if I do this? How is this going to work? And that's when you just go watch our show last night with Scalzi. We would talk about one thing and all of a sudden we'd all be off in a whole different area because that's just what this game is, almost limitless. Like I said last night, for the first time when they say you can do pretty much anything in this game, I'm like starting to believe it. Like we're at that point. Yes, I know there's still going to be limitations. Yes, there's not all the questions haven't been answered. But the fact is, it seems like Bethesda actually did go out and create the game to end all games as we know them right now, because it is 5 or 6 different games in one. And they've opened it up with the endless possibilities out there. And that's what I'm waiting to see, is what the limitations are, how far we can push it. But I'm just so excited, again, because this is a Bethesda game through and through. We've been trying to tell people from the beginning, Mav. All of us that believed in this game have been saying, This is the one Todd wanted to make. This is his baby that he's wanted to make. He waited this long for a reason, and you can see that he poured and his team poured every ounce to make this game exactly what they wanted it to be, which was the ultimate sandbox at the end of the day in an entire universe. And real quick, I got to tell this story that I posted because it's making the rounds right now. Todd, during an interview, was asked what he's been playing it, right? Obviously, they've been playing it since like November, December last year. And they asked him for one cool scenario that he personally experienced in this game. And he said, let's see, just a few weeks ago, I had landed on one of the early planets and the sandstorm blew through and I went to run away from it. And ships can randomly, once in a while, they can randomly land. Enemy ships can land. So I'm going through the sandstorm. The ship landed and I get into this firefight and I got on the ship. And while I'm shooting the guys on the surface of the planet in the ship takes off into space. So now I'm in outer space on the ship. And I was just like, can that happen? I guess that can happen. Yeah. The random moments that can even surprise Todd Howard, the creator, the brains behind this game. That's what makes Bethesda special. And now we've got it in not just one land, not just one world, but up to 1,000 worlds, right? Over 1,000 worlds. That's what's boggling my mind right now. And again, Space Pirate for life. I will be the most wanted space pirate in the entire universe because I'm not joining factions. I'm destroying factions. I'm out here. I'm going to be robbing everybody. Okay. That's what it's going to be. If you're in space, your ship is getting robbed. That's what I want. Like Fuzzy said, we talked about this last night, Fuzzy, with Skullsy too. They haven't answered the question if you can have an armada or a fleet with you. But I brought that up to Skullsy last night. And of course, his mind just exploded. He's like, oh my God. Well, they did talk about that. Your companions, the AI can fly the ships. So is that a possibility? And then we also talked about how big can we make the ships? I don't care if it takes God knows how much resource to do it, but if I can make a capital class battleship that's my main cruiser, and like Skullsy said, yeah, because then you could have a smaller ship inside of it that actually takes you to the planets, because you can't land a capital class ship. But if they allow you to have another one of your ships out of that capital class land, listen. Whatever they do,
every time someone talks, I just go different routes.
Yeah. I know. Or if and again, like Skullsy said, if you're playing on PC, especially, consoles are going to have some mods. But if you're playing on PC, especially, if Todd and the team didn't get it into the game, the modders are going to get into the game because the amount of people that are already interested in modding Bethesda games is unbelievable. This game and the hype that it's already created amongst all the communities, but the PC community especially, there are going to be people coming in here in droves creating mods for every scenario that we can think of.
Just a giant star base that you have to go and raid.
Yes, correct. Correct. That's exactly what's going to happen. This game could be, and again, I already said it from the beginning, I believe this is the generational game yet again that sets the bar that everybody will be trying to replicate or chasing for years, decades to come. But I do think that this could be, the game of the year. I think this does have a chance, if it lands successfully, to beat Zelda. And I know that's saying a lot, and it's a little bit of fanboy in me, but I do think this has a chance. But I think this is the game that we walk away from this entire generation still talking about next generation, and people are going to play in this even more so than the Fallouts, even more so than the Elder Scrolls.
And to your point, Pong, big media right now is marveling at the scope and ambition of the game. Like nobody, and there's this is only possible with Bethesda and all this stuff, and they're like wowed by it. But also when you combine that with what Phil said regarding that this game will launch with less bugs than any Bethesda game previously, so you have that. What we used to have, that big give and take with that stuff, and there probably will still be some. There's going to be some shit that gets broken with this, right? But
of course,
to have it be of that scale, but to be more polished than we've ever gotten from Bethesda, like that's saying something. That speaks to that potential game of the year category as well, and maybe game of the generation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It definitely, again, I believe from the beginning that it was going to happen, but now that I've seen it, because again, Todd has said things in the past that have wound up not living up to what he said it was going to be. There's plenty of people out there who've made videos and entire channels on ripping Todd and what he said in the past. The difference this time is they showed this game and they showed every single thing they talked about. They actually showed it in action. Like they've done big presentations with Fallout 3.
And he's just talking about it.
But he's just talking about it and they kind of go through a mission. They showed every single thing they were talking about and how it was going to work in game. So that's why I believe this time it is going to be the best of all of Bethesda's titles, which is saying a lot. This is a studio that's produced some of the GOATs of all time, according to a lot of people. And to say that they're now coming out with their best game ever, and it's a new IP in this setting, in a universe, that's on another level for this team. But I think that they've taken every lesson they've learned, everything that has driven them to actually reset the bar every time they bring out a new game, and pour it all into this one IP. This will be the standard going forward. Again, Bethesda is the only studio that makes games like this on a consistent basis. Other people have tried. CD Projekt Red can do their own style that comes close. We saw it with Cyberpunk. No matter what you think of Cyberpunk, it is there. But Bethesda still is the only studio that's proven they can do this time and time and time again with different IP and have everybody go, this is the greatest game I've ever played. This is the greatest game I've ever played. Thousands of hours later.
Thing that could like do better is if they had the AI so advanced that they thought they were real, and like it would be like living in a simulation.
Right. Which is why I keep bringing up, just wait until Todd and his team gets a hold of AI that Microsoft now has heavily invested into, and all of a sudden we see
in
that
20 years, like you're not going to know if it's real life or just
right.
Right.
But yeah, this is going to be an absolutely incredible experience for everybody who sits down and enjoys it. And again, if you're not into these games, totally understand it. I'm not going to tell you have to, but I'm just saying if you're going to, I do think this is the experience where people go, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I can't believe I'm playing this right now. So
I'm excited.
Bro.
I think we're all excited. It's crazy. It's crazy that Xbox bought Bethesda's ZeniMax and is now getting this game's gonna be better because of it. Really, yeah, I think the game would have already launched.
Yes,
probably. Yes. Otherwise,
as early as 2021,
and we still be playing it right now.
Yeah,
and they'd be fixing it, and the modders would be fixing it right now.
But they should have released it in March.
Yes, they should have. They should have.
Razor NZ hit us with 10 gifted memberships, bro.
Oh, all the way from New Zealand. Thank you,
Razor. Thank you so much. Very, very generous. Congrats to everybody who got one of those gifteds out there. Appreciate you, bro. It's always amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Blas Reed. That's the thing. I'm gonna feel like the Mandalorian playing Starfield. Yes, you can go bounty hunting. They already confirmed you can bounty hunt in this game if that's what you want to do.
Yep.
You can smuggle. You can be Han Solo in this game if you want to. Just like Todd had said, it's a Han Solo simulator at one point. Yes, it's possible, and that's the fantastic thing. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. Oh, you want to do that? Yes, you can do that. Go ahead. Oh man,
amazing. I can just you just think about what you want to do, right? That's the amazing thing about the game.
Yes,
lock someone in an airlock and then open it and just watch them go out in space.
Check them out. Check them out.
Nice. Yeah, the gravity effects. I mean,
yes,
so much awesomeness here.
Cycle, you've been quiet.
Yes, sir.
He wants to play Sea of Stars.
I know he does. He doesn't care about Starfield.
That was announced for Game Pass. Hey, Psycho, give us two minutes on why we should all be excited for Sea of Stars.
For what?
Never mind.
You cut out.
You gave him a chance. Sea of Stars.
Oh,
Sea of Stars. Yes.
No, Sea of Stars, man. That game is that retro RPG that we all love. Kind of reminds me of like Chrono Trigger. Music is amazing, and what sold me was how they do the fast travel. It's like this golem that puts like you in this container and then picks you up and just fucking flings you to your location. That right there, I was like, I'm fucking sold. And they showed it at the Nintendo Direct, And when I saw the developer on Twitter, I just been, when's it coming to Xbox? They're like, right now we can't say anything, we can't mention. And then I just kept harping. Then they announced it for Steam and then PlayStation. I was like, when is Xbox coming? When are we getting it? And then finally they announced it was coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
But now, during the the extended showcase, it's coming to freaking Game Pass. So that's now more hands are able to get their hands on this. Indie developer not the first game. They've made Messenger that was already in Game Pass. If you haven't played it, I'm not sure if it's there anymore, but that was a difficult game. That was like that ninja game, the Messenger.
Yeah, it's good.
And then so now this, I'm like, oh, bro, this is gonna be fantastic. So they're making a classic RPG, JRPG, but but yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I've actually been
Just like Starfield.
keeping up with this game a little bit too. It looks awesome. Like it is that old school traditional style JRPG game.
Yeah,
And
it's like Chain of Echoes.
yeah. It looks. I was surprising. I didn't think it was coming to Game Pass, but they said that
No one did.
Yeah.
Xbox was the last platform.
Yeah, they got lit up on Twitter for like weeks because it was announced coming to everything but Xbox. It wasn't.
Maybe they were
announced for
holding off
Xbox
on
yet.
this announcement. I guess.
I believe they were holding off to announce it was coming to Xbox
Yeah.
because they knew it was going to be in Game Pass.
Right. So it's interesting, man. Day one Game Pass game. I wonder if there's any of the other games they had in that little sizzle reel, like because there was more than just that. Like
Neon
just
White's
announcements.
coming. The Walking Village, I think it was.
Yeah.
God, there was like 7 or 8 indie games that they showed.
Awesome stuff, man. I'm looking forward to it. When does it come out?
August 29th.
August 29th.
Yeah.
7 days before Starfield. 3 days before Starfield if you're getting the early edition, which Psycho said that he's not going to because he wants to make sure that he plays Sea of Stars before.
Yeah,
he plays Starfield.
I've been waiting for this game, and because I was like, I could play it for a week, even if it extends a little bit longer, because I don't think it's going to be
Probably
that
15-20 hour game, maybe something like that.
You're not allowed to play Starfield till you get 1,000 out of 1,000. Just so you know, Psycho.
He's gonna have to
I
replay
never
the
do
game like
1,000 out of
18
1,000.
times.
Too bad this time you have to.
So there was actually a big Japanese presence also at the Xbox showcase, but they didn't have this one segment. It was sprinkled throughout the show. They had Persona stuff that had leaked. They had Persona 3 Reload. They had Persona 5 Tactica, which I'm fucking super excited about. I'm hyped as hell. But then they also had Metaphor, and that's a new game from Atlas, which was interesting because now Atlas's relationship with Xbox is so good that they're announcing new games at the Xbox showcase.
And articles are being written. Don't worry, PlayStation fans, it's still coming.
They finally
It's still
announced
coming.
it's
Don't panic.
coming. They finally said that. This one was this one Game Pass day one?
No,
No, the Capcom one was. The Capcom.
I don't think there's a date for.
Path
Right.
of the Goddess. Path
Um,
of the Goddess was from Capcom.
Right. So Chris is a big Shin Megami Tensei fan, right?
Yeah.
So is Psycho. And if some like those were the ones like I was more of a Final Fantasy guy, back in the day I played a lot of Square Enix RPGs and stuff back in the day, right? Squaresoft back then, and Sega RPGs, right? But not Atlas. Atlas was one that I didn't really get into until PS4 a little bit. I started playing Persona and stuff. As I started liking them, but I haven't been super in love with them. But tell me why Xbox fans, if you're into JRPGs, Chris, should be excited for Metaphor, because I know you've probably done more deep diving on this than anybody here on this panel.
Not as much as I would have wanted to yet because of my work schedule. But growing up, I played all the stuff, the Final Fantasies, the Shin Megami Tensei, Suikoden, obviously. And my parents would just look at me as like, what the hell are you playing? Because, you got the game days, the early Maddens, NBA Lives, you got Mario, all that stuff. And I'm sitting here playing this game that I'm spending 50 hours running around in a circle to get one specific drop that's like a 0.1% chance. My dad's like, how is that fun? But that pretty much grew my love for JRPGs. And going into this, they always clown on Xbox. It's like, Xbox doesn't have these genres. Single player, we got you. Starfield. JRPGs, we got you. The Persona 5 Royale, Game Pass. And now, until they confirmed it was coming to PlayStation, people to kind of soothe their emotions, we got Metaphor, ReFantazio, general turn-based, looks amazing, sounds amazing, obviously from the Persona devs. It's a good time that Xbox is finally being able to succeed in Japan. No one believed in Phil, no one believed in Sarah Bond or Matt Booty and all of them, but as a team, they've come together to form kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet now. I'm not a big Marvel fan, but we can go there. Kind of the Infinity Gauntlet of, we got the sports, we got the racers, we got the single players, and now we got Japan. And I've been adamant about Xbox, purchasing Square Enix before my birthday, but I have more and more that comes out about Sega and Atlas. I don't know now.
Yeah. It's like that's becoming Xbox's Square in a way right now.
Yeah.
Like, well, they're using Sega and Atlas to support the JRPG fans and stuff. And also Bandai Namco as well. Like, they've had deals before with them on other games. And now Capcom too, with the Japanese flavor, bringing in another game that is coming to Game Pass Day 1. It's a brand new franchise or brand new game. So
Path of the Goddess.
Yep. Kitsune Magi, I think, is what it's called. Path of the Goddess. Like, it just has like the symbol.
Let's go with Path of the Goddess.
It's Path of the Goddess. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, that game looks sick too. Like they're really making waves. With this year, Wolong already hit. That was a new IP. You got new IP from Atlas coming. You got a new IP from Capcom coming now. So they're filling in those gaps, man. And now you got all those single player games that we just talked about as well. Plus, you're going to have the Premier Racer, like you said. Where are the holes, right? Where are the holes? They're like in as far as like genre, they're trying to give you everything. And a lot of it's going to be in Game Pass Day 1, or almost everything. Only one of those games we talked about today that's not Game Pass Day 1 besides the Metaphor is Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
Right? Crazy.
They say variety is the spice of life, and that is what Xbox is giving us. I'm going to steal a quote from a good friend. I think after this showcase, this person's been saying this quote for years now, and I've been watching this person for years. Now I truly, generally believe this is the golden age of gaming.
There we go.
Oh,
That'd be $50.
$50. Yeah. Even for friends, still gotta pay me.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I think it's gonna wrap it up. We're almost 3 hours in, so let's get the hell out of here.
yeah, Starfield's great. I love it. Can't wait.
That sounds genuine.
You hate it. Psycho's a hater,
No.
everybody.
No, I can't wait for it. Fuck off.
Obviously,
But you
you
just want
can.
to play Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars is gonna make you wait for it.
Yep.
But okay, that's
Hey,
fine.
Hey.
I can't wait for it, but I'm gonna play this other thing first.
Yeah, because I've been.
That's fine.
That's
But I can't wait.
it's a smaller experience. I can
If-
finish that.
I can't wait,
If-
but I'm going to choose to wait.
there's gonna be less time to finish that game than trying to fucking finish Starfield.
I
don't
can't
wanna-
fucking wait for it, but I'm gonna play something else first.
I will say, if by chance, like we don't know the release date yet, but besides this year, if the Suikoden HD remasters come out and it were just to come out even the same day as Starfield, I'd probably play the remasters first, even though I've played them 100,000 times.
I give Psycho a hard time, right? But obviously, we're all gonna play what we are most excited about.
Oh yeah,
and that's amazing.
I love Starfield, but this is a smaller experience.
Stop trying to convince people.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Don't worry about Psycho.
We
It's
understand
fine.
you're
We
not
believe
really
you.
a true fan. You're just one of the
I hate you
other
guys.
people.
We understand you like PlayStation a little more, so it's like we get
Oh,
it.
fuck you.
You're just a little bit more casual than the rest of us. It's okay.
Yeah, you're just casual.
Yeah,
Casual gamer.
I'm the casual gamer.
Yeah,
You
it's
are?
okay. You know, there are-
Okay, Psycho. We accept all here. You know that, so we're
it's
good.
all right. You know,
You
we
don't
have
like
to have.
Xbox first party. That's okay.
We got to have
Yeah.
at least one casual gamer to represent that audience on the panel.
It's
So,
true. It's true.
yeah. Sea of Stars.
Fuck off.
You and your mobile games are cute.
Yeah.
Hey, Snap. Marvel Snap is awesome.
See?
You're
Yeah,
fucked.
again, it's perfectly
Hey, you
fine.
can't. Marvel Snap is the shit.
It's fine, Psycho. Don't worry. It's fine here. We're good.
I do miss playing Diablo with you, Psycho. You've been missing for like a week.
Hmm.
I don't know where
Yes,
you've been.
I have.
What have you been playing?
sleeping.
What have you been playing?
I've been sleeping early.
Bullshit. What have you been playing?
No,
Snap.
I haven't.
You've been playing mobile games. It's fine.
No.
He's been playing
I
the
haven't,
prequel to Sea of Stars.
No. I put on. I put a movie on and I pass out and go to bed.
So that's all you've done for the last week is put a
Watch
movie.
Movie? No, I've been playing earlier in the day, but
Oh,
not.
what level are you?
Diablo?
No.
Oh, what?
Oh,
You been playing Roblox or
Dragon Quest
No, I've
Builders
been
2.
playing
It's-
Minecraft?
Halo.
Oh, Halo.
Oh, you've been
Halo,
playing
okay.
Halo.
Yeah, sorry.
A dead
sorry.
game? Why are you playing that dead game?
But they did have season 4 content revealed today on Halo.
Yeah.
Woo.
I'm gonna give it another shot and dive back in again. You know, I'm a huge Halo fan, so you know it's kind of sad the state that it's been in with a lack of
Oh,
excitement.
I'm excited for Infested.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
He's so excited for it.
Infection. Infection.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to play that mode that I don't know the name of. It looks great.
Infection.
I'm gonna play Star Wars Outlook.
You and Yves should hang out together. That'd be great.
Star Wars Outlook.
Psycho's as big a gamer as Jim Ryan. Don't worry.
Fuck
everyone.
you. You're a piece of shit. I'll kill you.
Wow.
Uh,
You know what Jim
Just
Ryan
turn
won't be
that
doing is
PS5
playing
upside down.
Starfield on his
No.
Xbox.
he won't.
You'll be playing Sea of Stars on PlayStation.
Oh
Phil
my
probably sent him an Xbox for Starfield.
You think so? Will he turn it upside down on accident? You turn it on and the Xbox takes off like a rocket ship because of the fucking heat blowing out the top. Anyway, let's get everybody out of here. Hey, chat, you guys rock. Thanks for being with us today. And you know, I'm sure that some of you also are looking forward to Sea of Stars like Psycho. So that was worth your time listening to, I'm sure. Appreciate it, guys. Chris Jones, thanks for being here, bro. And appreciate all the support, also hanging out in the chat all the time on the show, as well as just being in their community. Great articles on lordsofgaming.net as well. And thanks for sharing those with me because I do actually like to read them and stuff. So I tell everybody where they can find your articles and you on social media and stuff.
Obviously, thank you once again for having me on. It's always a great time just to hang out and talk, whether Xbox party chat or on the podcast together. But everybody can find me on Twitter, CUnit123, Instagram, CUnit Chris Jones. Pretty much those two things everywhere. You can find my articles on lordsofgaming.net. Lots of great news, whether it be gaming news, media news, tech news. There's lots of different things. They do this thing called the Lord's Minute, which I don't think gets enough love, where one of the writers will sit down with one of the Iron Lords and they'll discuss whatever's going on at the time. Like they did a lot of Marvel stuff when that was happening on Disney Plus and all that. So go there, check out my articles, and I've wrote 99. So I'm trying to figure out something special to do for my 100th article, but we'll get that. And
Sea of Stars.
Yeah, Sea of Stars. I was gonna say.
A lot of people think it'll be something Suikoden related, but I'm trying to avoid that. I really am. I do want to thank Mav and Pong especially, because anytime I do a community article, they're always willing to jump in. We've done some good holiday-themed articles. We did a Mass Effect 5 community speculation, probably one of my favorite articles I've done. So definitely appreciate you too, Aim, for having me on.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being here. Should we get to the casual gamer first for the outros, or no? We got it. I want to get to Fuzzy, the faced one. He has a face. Everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
He's no longer the
Amazing.
faceless one. He's the faced one. Fuzzy showing up here on cam. Twice showed up because his power went out. Which was an awesome shot we got of you frozen on the screen for a while. It was great. But hey, bro, thanks for being here as always, Fuzz, and tell everybody where they can find you.
It was awesome being on here with you guys, and despite the power outage, still had tons of fun. Sorry for dragging on about the Forza stuff, but I'm so excited for it, and as well as Starfield. So it's just awesome gaming heading down our way here soon. So, but for those that want to hear my endless rambles or rants on anything gaming, just follow me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. Can catch me, Pong, and PTK Blam on the Shop Podcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on PTK Blam's channel. And then on Monday on Xbox Lunch Break Special on Double Barrel Gaming at 12 noon. Once again with Mr. Boomstick XL, Web Dave, and Crazy Lou. And then right back here on Fun Speculation Network for FSP at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you there.
Right on, Fuzz. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Psycho. Tell everybody where they can find you. Waiting in line to get your physical copy of Sea of Stars.
Do they have like gamer tags for mobile? I don't know if Psychos do they. Can people follow you on mobile anywhere?
You got your Google Play ID?
I think. Yeah.
Well, you can follow me anywhere social media second outside. And thank you, Jeff, for coming out and putting up with some of these assholes tonight. They're fantastic people. I love them. Except for the one over there in this fucking Star Wars shirt, little fucker.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, just kidding. Love you guys. Yeah, it's great. You can follow me everywhere. Monday, FSP, 10 o'clock, and then always Friday on Xbox Ultimate, playing, I guess, fucking Sea of Stars. So
Yeah, right on.
No, it's not out till August 29th. You gotta wait a little bit.
He'll just be watching.
I got it
videos.
early, motherfucker.
Got it early. Nice. Jasper, tell everybody where they find you, bro.
Yo, check it out. Lord Jasper, Twitter, Lord Master Jasper, YouTube, AI Game News, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Monday, Friday, 10 o'clock right here, Fun Speculation Network for FSP and Xbox Ultimate. Short and sweet.
Hey, professional. Amazing.
Yep.
Good job, Jasper. Thanks also to Jasper for all the help with the co-streams and setting up all the video stuff in our Discord and things like that too. He was there for every single one of them.
They like the cat heard your yo, Jasper.
He was like, yeah, Jasper, yeah. All right. Pong.
Yes.
Blast last night. Blast tonight.
Yeah,
I can't wait to play some fucking Diablo tonight. I know you got a show in the morning though.
Yep. I got a little bit of time. Good.
Where can they find you tomorrow morning?
Hey. Great. First of all, shout out to Caloray, who showed up here earlier and was here for about an hour and a half. Thank you for joining us, sir. Obviously, C-Unit. Great to have you. Always a part of the show, brother. And all the great work you do over at lordsofgaming.net. absolutely fantastic work. Love reading your articles, brother, all the time. And everybody over there, just again, it's such a crew over there. And you guys deserve all the credit you guys are getting now. So great to have you here, sir. Love to hear your thoughts on things. And of course, I got to mention Fuzzy being on camera. Fuzzy, great to see you, brother. Actually, see you. Not just hear you, but see you, sir. Great to have you here. But no, it was a fantastic show. Again, so much excitement around this community, so much energy going on right now. The chat was absolutely flying earlier. Always fantastic to see that. And we did have a great show last night. So if you want to hear a lot of Starfield talk, go check out PM in the PM last night with Skullsy. We got into it big time. Skullsy only had 2 hours with us, so we went through a couple quick things and then got right into Starfield. Lot of great speculation with the man who knows Bethesda like very few do that don't actually work there. So go check that out. But otherwise, tomorrow morning, everybody, it's Living Split Screen. Already put out the tweet. So you know what? You got to bring a friend, tell a friend, because we're on mission 1K. Split Screen's all one word. Myself, my brother from another Steel Rain. We're going to talk about a lot of the stuff that happened. I don't know how much we're going to get to because there's going to be a lot of games that we stop on and talk. Steel and I are going to talk some Armored Core 6 tomorrow for sure. That is Steel's most hyped game of the year, and we got to see some video this week. But stop by tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, 3+ hours. Buckle up, get ready. It's probably going to go 4, depending on what we got going on. But Living Split Screen every single Saturday morning. Be there tomorrow morning. Can't wait to see you all. And then, like Fuzzy said, tomorrow night, the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel. Blam, Fuzzy, myself, and tomorrow night, I believe we have Infinite Umbra and Game Pass Daily dropping on in. So we're going to have a great show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Listen, folks, it is the golden age of gaming. Chris Jones was right. He's been listening to me for a long time, and all of us. Mav and I came up with it together. I just took it as my tagline, whatever. It doesn't matter. I promote it. It's the golden age of gaming, everybody. It truly is. This week of Gamers Christmas really proved that. A game like Starfield really tells the story. So guess what? Get out there, enjoy it, play what you love what you play. I'm going to talk to y'all real soon, about 9 hours from now. Talk to you then.
Right on, man. And a special thank you again to Ass Eating CLiCK with a $2 super chat that said drinks on me. And also 5 of you were just gifted a fun speculation membership from Ass Eating CLiCK. So you can all thank Ass Eating CLiCK for the memberships.
Is that a subgroup? We can call them the ass eaters, the ones that got that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so those 5 are part of the Ass Eating CLiCK forever. Just sit at the ass eating table. Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's great, man. Guys, you all rock. Thank you for being here again. Have a good night. Peace out.
Bye. Bye.
Oh.